ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Rates may vary.
Listen to the Sunflower Showdown on Saturday with pregame starting at 9, kickoff at 11, right here on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City, a 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. We are going to have a lot of fun today. Coming up in about 45 minutes, Steven Spector is going to join us in studio. Today is the first day of the NBA. I have a question. Is there anything the NBA could do this season that would get you interested in what is going to happen? We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little pro football. We'll talk a little college football. Joshua Briscoe is going to be on the show today. The Baltimore Ravens got put on timeout. I'll explain what that means. There's a lot of things happening in sports today. We also are going to talk a little bit of KU and K-State every day this week. We are planning on having Lance Leipold on the show tomorrow. I believe Jalen Daniels is also going to be on the show. We're going to have Chris Kleiman on the show. Avery Johnson is scheduled to be on the show this week. So we got you covered, KU and K-State fans. It is very important to me that we cover this game. This is the biggest KU and K-State game in a very, very long time. So we'll cover that today as well. Before we get to any of that, though, I got to remind you of a couple of things. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, it'd be great if you could tell two people to check out the show, but if you could just tell one person to check out the show, you know what? I would greatly appreciate that. And number three, and what might be most important, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. I actually went to The Other Place yesterday to watch a little bit of Monday Night Football and grab something to eat. So if you're looking for a place to watch some college football, a little pro football, the baseball playoffs are starting to wind down, the NBA gets going today, a little NHL action as well, whatever sport you're into, trust me, they got you covered over at The Other Place. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we are exactly 2 weeks away from the NFL trade deadline, and the Chiefs have their eye on a couple of different things. Now, we have heard multiple reports. The Chiefs are either interested in a running back, they're not interested in a running back. I don't know. You guys know I have been banging the running back drum for months now at this point, but that's not where I at least want to start the open. We'll get there, but that's not where I want to start. So it feels like the most recent rumor buzz around the Kansas City Chiefs is around their defensive line. If you believe Diana Rossini, and I have no reason not to believe Diana Rossini, she is reporting that the Chiefs are looking more at defensive line than they're looking at running back. Now, we have talked about the inconsistency of their defensive line, and they just lost Omar Norman Lott, it looks like, for the remainder of the season. So they are a little bit thin there. They were already thin. They are thinner now at the defensive line. Rob, it makes a lot of sense to me why the Chiefs would go out and why they would potentially make a move at defensive line, but this would be the thing that I would caution. How much do the Chiefs have to spend where you would feel like they made a significant impact on it? You and I talk about this all the time. We talk about what are problems that are March and April problems, and what are some problems that you simply can't fix in the middle of the season. If the Chiefs do what the Chiefs usually do around the deadline, and I'm not saying this as a negative, but I don't think anybody thinks the Chiefs are spending a second-round pick here in the next 2 weeks for next year. I think the Chiefs are going to stay in that somewhere between the 4th round to the 6th round range. That's a real comfortable safe spot. Those are picks that you can always pick back up. Whether you move back in the NFL draft, you get one on a compensatory pick, you can always find a spare 4th through 6th round pick if you would like to do it. So knowing that information, being equipped with that information, how much of an impact player do you think the Chiefs could possibly find on the defensive line that you think could make a difference? Where, if you're willing to spend that same 4th, 5th, or 6th round pick on a running back, I would say that you could make a significant upgrade when we are talking about the position. I don't have the text line open right now, but I'm guessing if I threw out on the text line, would you rather the Chiefs go pick up a defensive lineman or a running back here in the next 2 weeks? I think the answer for a lot of people would be a defensive lineman, and I get it. But my argument would be you could get far more bang for your buck, and you can make more of an impact on your roster by going out there and picking up another running back and using that compensation as opposed to what you could do on the defensive line.
So, you know how I feel about running back. We don't need to get into running back. You can get into running back here in a minute. Here's my thing with defensive line and the addition. I agree with you. On the whole, it is going to be more difficult to add a premium pass rushing defensive line type of player because they come at a higher price. I agree with you. But I think the Chiefs are not going to be in the high price premium pay game for any position. So I would be a proponent of adding a Mike Pennell type or that level of player for a 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick, because right now it's not just the fact their pass rush is lacking. Carrington, have you seen their defensive tackle depth recently? It's bad. There's Chris Jones, who is really good. Then there's Jerry Tillery. Then there's Derek Nottie, who apparently, according to PFF, stinks. And then there's, I don't know what the other D-tackle depth is off the top of my head. You need bodies at that position. So maybe it's not literally Mike Pennell, but I will be banging the drum back here, to get a defensive tackle with a 5th, 6th round pick way before a running back.
And I guess I would argue then, if you were telling me that you are advocating for them to pick up one of those kind of defensive linemen, if that's what you're talking about, then I would say they really didn't make a move then. I would say it is probably best served to just simply wait, see how the waiver wire plays itself out, and then go out there and find that player that way. You remember how they acquired Mike Pennell. Mike Pennell was not traded for. He was a guy who was available. You then looked around and you went out and you grabbed one of those kind of players and you then picked them up off the thing. Now we're talking about the Chiefs potentially using draft pick compensation to go get back guys that they've already had on the team and simply gave away. The Chiefs didn't want Mike Pennell. Think about it. The Chiefs, equipped with all the information, there is not a team in the National Football League that knows Mike Pennell better than the Kansas City Chiefs. He couldn't make their roster for them. Now we're talking about you now have to give Cincinnati a 5th round pick to go acquire that player back. That doesn't sound like good business to me. Colin Saunders was another player. He didn't sign for a lucrative free agent contract. The Chiefs very easily could have got him back. You let him go play for another team. Good for him. He got paid by somebody else. Now it's using draft pick compensation to get that player back. To me, that just sets such a bad precedent, and that's just not a good use of your already limited resources that you have. You already traded a draft pick to go get back Derek Nottie. You now are going to use another draft pick to go get another former player on your team, where if I'm looking at running back, and maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, we're at the middle part of the season. Their running backs combined, the 3 running backs, Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, and Brashard Smith, they're averaging 3.85 yards per carry. They still have, and I know the passing game right now is dynamic, but their running game is still below average by almost every single metric. There is not a player in the NFL who has touched the ball more times this season than Isaiah Pacheco that doesn't have a 20-yard gain. So I would argue you still don't have a lot of explosiveness in your run game to take right now an offense that feels like it's trending up. Imagine if you could get noticeably better at running back and at a position that could really add some spark and sizzle to an offense right now that feels like it's operating at a very, very high level. So I understand if people are going to argue defensive linemen, and we can take phone calls on this, 913-586-7965. I just don't think that you were picking up a defensive lineman that makes a difference in late October, early November. I think you pick up a name. I think you pick up a body. at this point. And trading a 4th or a 5th round pick for a guy that I don't really think moves the needle at all for the team just doesn't seem like a very good use of your resources, especially when you've already done that this offseason and made a trade to go get a defensive lineman. Where's Ashton Gelati at? I haven't said that name in 3 months. We haven't talked about Ashton Gelati. If we're talking about you were expecting to get improvements from players on the offensive side and see the growth and development, that seems like a guy that we should be counting on in the second half of the season that can give you something when talking about the defensive line. So my position on this remains unchanged. I'm cool if I'm the only person that still thinks they need to add something at running back. They're averaging 3.8 yards per carry from their 3 running backs. I just think they need more. I've always thought they needed more. And I think if you're willing to spend a 4th round pick on a running back, you can get noticeably better at the position, where I'm not so sure if you can do that when talking about the defensive line. We can read your text coming up on the other side, 913-586-7965. We'll also talk about the Ravens, who got put on punishment today. I'll explain. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Gear? Check. Snacks? Check. Tires? Not so much. I didn't have time to deal with this, so I asked my friend. Her answer was simple. Take it to Telly, she said, and I'm so glad I did. They didn't just take care of my tires, they took care of me. We got you, they said, and they did. Fast, friendly, and stress-free. Now I know when life throws you a red card, take it to Telly. Stay in the game. Take it to Telly.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth. Why not start today?
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold. You guys know we've been telling you about our friends over at Centric and how in just as little as 4 months you could find a brand new career in IT.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and cybersecurity threats are increasing every year. You could have a new career working in that field. Don't just take it from us. Listen to Carney.
I'm Carney, a U.S. Army veteran and now an Enterprise Service Desk Technician. Using my GI Bill here wasn't just about training for a civilian career. It was about joining a community that supports veterans.
So go to Centric.com to learn more or schedule a meeting with our buddy Russ.
Century Roofing remains the best roofing company to call for insurance claims from storm damage, roof repair, and inspections throughout Kansas City. They were just voted as both the best roofing company in Johnson County for the 4th straight year and the best roofing company in all of Kansas City by readers of the Johnson County Post and the KC Star. So trust the pillars of strength and go with locally owned and female-owned Century Roofing at CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Sildana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we do it all with a touch of mirth.
Football is fun. Why shouldn't your football podcast be the same?
Follow and listen to Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I think this is a very important question to ask while we're having this conversation, debate, however you want to phrase it. 913-586-7965. Right now, I would say the Chiefs are looking for potentially two things as the trade deadline is coming. We are exactly 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. I do think the Chiefs are going to do something. I don't think they're taking a big swing. I don't think the Chiefs need to take a big swing. They're getting a lot of guys healthy. They're currently playing as well as any team in the National Football League. I don't think they're mortgaging the future, so to speak, to go get somebody. The debate right now is, would you like for them to go pick up a running back or go pick up a defensive lineman? Now, I think this is very important, to frame this conversation. Rob, are you looking for a defensive lineman that can get after the quarterback or a defensive lineman to be a part of a rotation and help you stop the run? Because if we are talking about the Chiefs spending a 6th or a 7th round pick and you are expecting that player to get after the quarterback, I think you're wasting your money and your resources. I just don't think that player is available at that asking price if that's what you're trying to do. But if the thought process is we just lost Nomar Armanlot, we're looking for another body to put in the rotation, then I would say don't trade for anybody. We all know that there are free agents right now that are out there working out that would desperately love to get back in the NFL that you can get for a league minimum and not give up a single draft pick. I'd bring a couple of those guys in and work them out. I bring in a couple of those guys in. You got the bye week coming up in a little bit. You bring somebody in, you work them out, you put them on the practice squad, you elevate them, and you go from there. If that's what we're talking about, because this would be my fear. I was here last year when the Chiefs made a trade to go get Joshua Uche, and we were pointing at a player in 2022 that was really good, that had 11.5 sacks. He couldn't get on the field last year for the Kansas City Chiefs. He had 7 tackles last year and didn't get a sack and didn't seem to fit. You could have brought Joshua Uche back if you wanted to. He signed a 1-year, $1.192 million deal. He currently can't get on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, maybe Joshua Uche is just not an NFL player. So my point is, if you are talking about spending in that 6th or 7th round range for a player, I just don't think there's one that is A, going to be able to get to the quarterback, or B, make a noticeable difference, where I do think you could find that player at running back for a very cheap acquisition cost. He's not making any money, probably still on his rookie deal. And I think you can take a noticeable step forward with a running game right now that, yes, the offense is fantastic. If you look at their top 3 running backs so far through the first 7 weeks of the season, they're averaging 3.8 yards per carry, and Patrick Mahomes is still their best running back, and we're at the midway point in the season. They need a boost in the running game in some capacity. So whether that's Brashard Smith taking over and getting more carries, whether it's Isaiah Pacheco, I don't care what it is at this point, but I still will maintain they need a little bit more of a punch in the run game. I just don't know where it's coming from right now.
So, to answer your question, I think I want them trading, using the more premium asset for a pass rusher. And I'm happy you brought up the Joshua Uche trade because I would do something like that again this season. I also would tell you, I don't think the Josh Uche trade was a bad. I just don't know it didn't work in Kansas City. He's been better in Philadelphia than he was in Kansas City.
I'm with you. He virtually did nothing for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's doing next to nothing with Philadelphia. He has 11 tackles and 1 sack in Philadelphia. Now, I'm with you. He's certainly better than he was last year.
He's a fine rotational pass rusher. He's not a difference maker, but he's a fine player that situationally you can get the most out of.
Let me ask you this right now. Thanks for bringing him up. You're telling me right now if they trade a 6th-round pick for Joshua Uche, would you make that trade? Because you are the biggest on hoarding draft picks.
Yes.
I never met somebody likes to hoard more draft picks than you do. So right now you're telling me you would trade for Joshua Uche, a Joshua Uche type.
Yes. We can go back in time and we can use the Melvin Ingram example. Now, I know Melvin Ingram had marginal statistical impact in Kansas City, but it was a player who helped the depth and improved your pass rush in Kansas City, and you gave up a nothing draft pick to do it. That's the kind of move I'm looking to make. Now, as far as D tackle, they need a body, but we actually see D tackle the same way. They need to find a Mike Pennell type on the waiver wire. They need to find.
I guess my question would be is why are they looking for a Mike Pennell type when they had Mike Pennell on the team and just let him go?
So I think
for nothing. They didn't trade him.
Correct.
He couldn't make the team.
So I think it's two different conversations. I think they need that body, but we can have the conversation of did they screw up by getting rid of that literal body? I'm open to that conversation because I remember at the time, and now I definitely am thinking it. Why did you get rid of Mike Pennell? He costs nothing and he has value, and now they have very thin depth. And I'm just using him as a waiver wire example. I would pick up a D tackle off the waiver wire, and I would trade up to a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, conditional, whatever, to get a Joshua Uche, Melvin Ingram type of pass rusher. I don't have the text line up. I'm sure they have some wild ideas on how to improve.
I'm seeing some people throw out Calais Campbell as a player. I mean, Calais Campbell's 39 years old, so you're talking about just a hired gun at this point. If you go get Calais Campbell, he's on a 1-year, $5 million deal for the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals they're the Arizona Cardinals. They appear like they're going to be out of it here very, very soon.
Yeah, the Cardinals, the other part of this conversation, the Cardinals kind of fit into a box that a lot of teams fit into. I think they're out of it, but their record would tell you they're not technically out of it. They're kind of in no man's land. Are they giving up on Calais Campbell while they sit in no man's land?
Are you making a trade for Calais? Let's say right now Arizona says they want a 4th for Calais Campbell. You making that trade?
Not for Campbell, no. I would rather take it.
I would say that he's one of the better options that you could possibly get so far this season. He's a proven defensive lineman. He has 3 sacks so far this season, and despite his age, he's been very, very healthy in his career. He played in 17 games last year, played in 17 games 2 years ago, and has played in all 7 games so far this season. Calais Campbell's not a bad pick if that's what you're trying to do. Now, I'm guessing that Kansas City will not be the only team that's very interested in Calais Campbell if we're talking about that they're going to go out there and look, guy on a 1-year deal, expiring deal, maybe trying to go get himself a ring, trying to get to the NFL playoffs. So, I certainly think he would be one of those kind of players that would be available. I also just don't think I don't think he's going to be cheap to go pick up. But cheap by the trade standards.
I also would say I don't know the Chiefs like Campbell the same way the text line does, because how many times in his NFL career has Calais Campbell been a free agent and he's never been linked to Kansas City?
I would say that's the same thing for Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney has been available 6 times too. Chiefs ain't never brought Clowney in for a workout. Clowney ain't never been to Gates before.
Clowney only comes when he put the opponent. And even then, the Chiefs don't dap him up after the game. Get out of the stadium.
Yeah, and then when it comes to some of these, now I understand that, what you potentially were looking for in April and May could be looking for something very different now. So I don't want to make it seem like just because they made this decision, I mean, they let Derek Nottie go and then traded right back for him before the season began. But you could have got Campbell. He signed a 1-year, $5 million deal. If you were uninterested in this move a couple of months ago, why would you now be in a position where you would trade, I would say, a decent asset to go acquire that player? You could have had Campbell for nothing. He signed a 1-year deal and got $4 million guaranteed and a $2 million signing bonus. Campbell could be on a contending team right now for no money he could be on. But he chose to sign with Arizona. We all know Arizona wasn't going to be good this year. He did what a lot of old people do. They went to Phoenix to retire, is what he did. You had a chance. He had a chance. A lot of teams would have taken that player on a 1-year, nothing kind of deal, but he chose to go play for the Cardinals for whatever reason.
I mean, how much? To be fair, DeAndre Hopkins decided to play for the Titans for whatever reason.
We know what the reason was. They paid him.
Julio Jones made the same decisions. Like
everybody. That's actually where that's where old receivers go to die. They go play for the Titans.
They literally just cut Tyler Lockett. He was the old receiver.
Yeah, I'm telling you, old receivers. They go play for them. I told you. I wouldn't lie to you. That's where old receivers go. When you're old, you're out the game. You go play for Tennessee. You go to what's that street they got? You go there for a couple of days, couple of weeks. And you go live your life, Broadway or whatever it is. I don't know the street. But, yeah, you go there for a couple of weeks, and you're out the game. Can I read a tweet to you guys very quickly? This is from the Baltimore Sun. Is that the paper from The Wire? That's definitely one from The Wire.
I can't imagine The Wire used a fake paper.
I couldn't remember. I was trying to remember. So this is from the Baltimore Sun. After falling to 1-5, the Ravens have removed the players' ping pong tables, video game consoles, basketball hoop, and cornhole boards from the locker room. They took their toys away. This happened in real life. This probably happened to you when you were a kid, or this is what you do to your kids when they're not making the grades. Hey, I need your phone. I need your iPad. I need your Nintendo Switch. We ain't playing no games around here until you get your grades up. Is that not what just happened to the Baltimore Ravens? This is a 1-5 football team. These are grown men. Can you imagine one day you come into work and you know, we all have a place to kind of hang out, a community place, you know? Hey, we usually play ping pong here. We play a little Madden. We shoot a little basketball. Like the Chiefs have a basketball goal in their locker room. Can you imagine one day you come in there, you got a little bit of downtime, and they took the ping pong table away, the video game consoles away, the basketball hoop. What do you have to do to get it back? This reminds me one time Mike Krzyzewski did this when he was at Duke. Jason Tatum said that after a loss, he took the chairs away, and he said, you guys don't deserve to sit down in this locker room. This is a tactic to try to turn things around for the Baltimore Ravens. They got put on punishment. They got put on timeout. They got their video games taken away.
This feels like junior varsity, big time high school football, college football type of punishment. Do we really believe that the reason the Ravens aren't winning games is because they're playing too much ping pong?
Too much ping pong
in the locker room.
Too much messing around.
A little too much Madden in their downtime. You're telling me Marlon Humphrey can't cover all of a sudden because instead of getting some extra reps in on the jug machine, he's sitting around and heading to the snack table? Like, the Coach Krzyzewski example is great. I remember there's a video from a few years ago, maybe more than a few years ago now, where Mike Leach, rest in peace, was at Mississippi State, and he took all the chairs off the sidelines and Mississippi State wide receivers don't sit down when they can't catch the ball. This is very college football punishment. It's not going to change anything.
When you're playing 1-5 football, this is what happens.
This is the same as when Romeo Crennel put up that sign and said, eliminate bad football.
Yeah, they haven't eliminated it in Baltimore, obviously.
It's loser, do nothing, but look like we're doing something fixes. No actual tangible results are coming from the ping pong table being out of the locker room.
You mean this is doing the least while simultaneously doing the most? That's nothing a football team loves to do more than that. Someone just texted in at text line 913-586-7965. Damn, those are the only games that the Ravens players show up for. It's a good one. I can't lie. That's a good one. That's a good one. You know how mad I would be if they took Madden out of the locker room? Hey, man, I just lost yesterday. I got to get my rematch back against Derrick Henry, and now you took the Madden out of here? Hey, Coach, come on, man. What are you doing here? Put it back. Hopefully this motivates the Baltimore Ravens. They just had a bye week, so you've been out of the office for a couple of days. You're coming back. You can't wait to get a good game of cornhole with your teammates. And now they just removed it from the locker room? Come on, Coach, this ain't right. I want to play this audio for you guys because right now we are at a crossroads. Now, you know, I'm not the biggest pro football focused guy, at least when it comes to the numbers. I kind of think when it comes to pro football focused numbers, you can apply it when you don't want it, or you can apply it when it's necessary, or you can put it down if it doesn't fit what you want it to say. Like, you can shape a pro football focused score to really say whatever you want it to say. A couple of weeks ago, Noel Williams was the #1 ranked corner in the National Football League. I'm not saying Noel Williams isn't playing well, but we watched the league. You think he's the best corner in the league? It just didn't make a lot of sense. The numbers are off all the time. I feel like the last couple of weeks, pro football focus numbers have been a little bit under attack. So the Chiefs, they always play in these national televised games, right? So when they give their Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech, they then show you their Pro Football Focus ranking. Patrick Mahomes was ranked like 14th on there. So everybody went, man, how can he rank 14th? How can he rank 14th? Well, this week it was even worse. I'll let Nick Wright tell you guys.
Pro Football Focus's quarterback rating system said on Sunday, Geno Smith played a better game than Patrick Mahomes.
Needs to be tweaked.
They published that. They put that out to the world. They said from a passing perspective, on Sunday, Geno was the 12th best quarterback in the league with a 67 grade, and Patrick Mahomes was the 16th best on Sunday with a 62 grade. It is that single fact means the way you're doing it is broken. There is no way to massage it or work around to where if in that game, you spit out the answer that actually, when you really look with a discerning eye, Geno threw the ball better than Patrick, it means your system's broken.
I mean, I try to come up with my own takes, but sometimes it's okay for all of us just to have the same take. Like sometimes multiple people just think and feel the exact same way. And I think all of us feel the exact same way about the Pro Football Focus ranking this week. Now, I'm not here to tell you that we should never reference Pro Football Focus because I think they do a lot of good work. We've had plenty of people from Pro Football Focus on this show. You know, we love Sam Munson on this show. Known Sam Munson now for 15 years. So I got a lot of respect for Pro Football Focus. But I can't disagree with anything that Nick said. If your ranking system will tell us, I don't care how deep you are into football, I don't care. If your ranking system will tell me that a quarterback that was 10 of 16 for 67 yards performed better than a quarterback who threw for 286 yards and 3 touchdowns, your rating system is broken and we can't trust it. There are some things that I think Pro Football Focus does a really, really good job of breaking down. How well your offensive lineman does in run blocking situations, how well they do in pass blocking situations, how good your defensive lineman is. There are some position groups that I absolutely think you can refer to Pro Football Focus on. But I think this is the problem that we encounter with a lot of these advanced metrics. At this point, you can find an advanced metric that can confirm anything that you think. If you think the Chiefs running backs are performing very well, you spend 5 minutes on the internet. I can find you some advanced stats to confirm that for you. If you think they're playing poorly, I can find you the exact same stats to show you the opposite end of the spectrum. Sometimes too much information can simply just be a bad thing. Sometimes, you know what? You just got to use your instincts. We all watch football. We all watch these games. We all follow these games. What are you seeing? I don't care what Pro Football Focus sees. What do you see when you watch the game? Some of you went to this game. Some of you watched this game on television. Maybe you just simply read the box score. There is no metric that you can convince me or tell me that Geno Smith played better than Patrick Mahomes did. And if that happened, you need to close the website down for a little bit. You need to bring everybody into the office that comes up with the computation on how we evaluate players, and we got to start completely over when it comes to quarterback. Maybe we don't got to start over at running back or wide receiver or linebacker, but when it comes to quarterback, we cannot evaluate quarterbacks this way because it doesn't work. It does not work in any capacity. So Pro Football Focus, I feel like these last couple of weeks, they've been taking a lot of arrows. And I would love to stand here and defend the good people over at Pro Football Focus, who I think do a lot of really, really good work. But I cannot defend this. No one can defend this. It goes against everything that we know about football. This is like in baseball. We always say, well, he's hitting the ball hard, but he keeps hitting it at people. That's a problem. That's a problem. What are we doing here? We go with all these advanced numbers to tell you a guy who's hitting 170 is actually hitting the ball well. No, he's not. But sometimes you just got to trust your instincts. You got to trust your gut. What does your gut tell you? And your gut tells me that Geno Smith played quarterback about as poorly as you could possibly play it on Sunday against the Chiefs.
Let me ask you this, and I am not here to defend Pro Football Focus. I do think people pick and choose when to like Pro Football Focus. This week we hate it. Don't worry.
100%. People, move the goal line with them every week.
In a few weeks, they'll say Jalen Moore is one of the best left tackles in football, and people will be like, look, PFF has Jalen Moore. We 100% move the goalposts. But how much of the failings of their grades are all the people you used to know and football fans used to know are no longer at Pro Football Focus? Like you mentioned Sam Munson, and Nick talked for 3 minutes. I cut down to 1. He mentioned Sam Munson too. There was a time in Pro Football Focus and football media in the world where the computer would spit out one of these numbers. We'd all scratch our head, huh? And then Sam Munson would go on a media car wash and he would explain why it's doing what it's doing. So there was context. There was a larger conversation being had about the numbers. And even Sam Munson, who's very good at his job, would have a little bit of self-deprecating humor and laugh at himself and laugh at the numbers. Nowadays, do you know anyone who works Pro Football Focus? It just seems like it's an algorithm now spitting things out, and there's no context, no defense, no nothing of it.
I certainly understand and hear what you're saying. And I love Sam Munson. There is no explaining this. There's no explaining this. There's no way to dress this up. How can you explain your algorithm? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can only do so much. And if your algorithm tells you that Geno played better than Patrick Mahomes or played better than just about any quarterback in the National Football League, maybe other than Tua, you got to start over here. So I hear what you're saying. They used to have a face of Pro Football Focus, and now they don't have a face. And now that causes some of the problems. Well, the problem right now ain't the way to explain it. The problem is it doesn't make any sense. And we are used to stats that make sense. You shot the ball 5 times. You made it 1 time. You shot 20% from the field. I understand that. That's easy to understand. I understand that you went up to bat 10 times. You got to hit 4 times. You're hitting 400. That's great. It's fantastic. You struck that guy out 6 times. Great. Now we're getting to the point with these numbers that we have a lot of numbers that we all quote, BAPIP, and all of these things, but the regular person has no clue what they are. They just sound good. Rob, how many times have you been on social media and you just see a chart with players' names on it and dots? I have no clue what I'm supposed to be looking at. I just see Mahomes over on this side. Oh, I guess that means he's good. I have no clue what these mean. And we quote these things all the time. You guys let Seth Kaiser type one of these things up, some kind of Venn diagram, and you guys will believe whatever. Stop it. We got to start using real numbers again. And Pro Football Focus, they're not real numbers. They're just some algorithm. It's like football AI is what it is. Football GPT is what they've created.
I do think at its core, I like the idea of Pro Football Focus because I feel like football more than other sports falls into the does it pass the eye test conversation, and there is nothing worse than the eye test. The eye test is extremely subjective and not objective at all. So I like the idea that we are trying to apply advanced numbers to football so that we can, have numerical data other than just, I think he looked good on Sunday. That's not really how we should be doing it, but Pro Football Focus has massively missed the mark, at least the last couple weeks. And you're right. Some of these graphs, I like advanced metrics more than you. Some of them I look at and I'm like, his EPA versus, I don't get what I'm looking at, but I know the top quadrant is good. And that's where Patrick Mahomes usually is. It's a little bit too much at times.
Do you think being a Mariners fan is fun? I only ask that question because, the Mariners, they're a proud franchise. They had Ken Griffey Jr. back in the day, A-Rod back in the day, Randy Johnson, Julio Rodriguez. They've had a lot of great, King Felix. They've had a lot of great players over the last 30, 40 years or so. They really have. They've had a lot of great players. They're the only team in Major League Baseball that's never been to the World Series. Everybody else has been to the World Series. I feel like everybody else other than the Pirates have been to the World Series kind of recently, the Marlins have been there recently. The Rays have been there recently. I feel like for the most part, most teams in baseball have been to the World Series in the last 20 years or so. Certainly a great portion of them. Everybody except Seattle. Last night, they had to feel like they were there. They had a 3-1 lead in the game. 3-1 lead on the road in Toronto. You're thinking, man, this is finally it. We're finally going to go to the World Series. Nope, you're not going to the World Series. Nope, you're coming back home. You're going to watch it. Do you think being a Mariners fan is fun?
I think the answer is yes, because you're going to have so many great memories associated with those great players. But, man, getting punched in the gut over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in the postseason has to get old quick. Like, they have the MLB record for the most wins in a regular season. They didn't do anything with it in the postseason. Not even this year. They had Ichiro's incredible rookie year. They didn't do anything with it. Like, I think it's fun because of all the jersey numbers in their version of the Rafters or Hall of Fame, but man, nothing else to show for it has to be the absolute worst feeling.
Yeah, someone says, C-Dot, what do you know about a Jay Buhner? I know about a Jay Buhner. I know about an Edgar Martinez. I know about an Ichiro. That's a proud franchise in Seattle. Very proud franchise. They ain't got nothing. They don't have anything. They've never even been to the dance. Not once. You guys always talk about, who would love to go to the World Series or Super Bowl and lose? The Mariners. At least you've been there. They don't even know how hard it is to get there. They ain't ever been. It's embarrassing. All right, coming up on the other side today, we're going to celebrate the return of the NBA. We got Steven Spector in studio. We're going to play a game. I'll tell you what it is next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The NBA is back. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss tip-off or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything. For who's going to score next to a fourth-quarter comeback. You can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout, however you want to play. Now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. So all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to sign up today. Fall is here, so celebrate the return of basketball season with our friends over at FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue. Non-withdrawal bonus bet. Expires 7 days on street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, no.
Ah,
That's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, it's Brian Baldwin here. Makita knows that pros never settle. Get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. When you shop Makita at the Home Depot, these tools don't just meet expectations, they redefine them. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly designed to deliver precision job after job. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best, available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 63.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
All right, just for 10 minutes, I want to be three guys that are here talking about ball. We got Steven Spector joining us in studio. We'll get back to football coming up in just a bit. First thing, Steven Spector, is you are an NBA fan like Rob and I are.
Rob's an NBA fan?
He is. He's a Cleveland Cavalier fan, actually.
Okay.
Very puzzling to me as well.
All right.
First question I'd like to ask you before we get to the real reason that you were here, because you're also a college basketball fan.
Kind of.
Who was the college basketball player that you were just sure when they went to the NBA it was going to work and you ended up being wrong? Because everybody has that player that when you're watching him in college, you're thinking, man, this guy's going to be really, really good. He's going to be a good pro. And then you find yourself like, how did that thing miss?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
I still don't really understand how Zion didn't turn out to be phenomenal. I still don't understand.
You don't?
I mean, I understand, but I don't understand.
He's eating himself out of the league.
From the moment I saw him, I'm like, this is a much more athletic version of Charles Barkley. How is he not one of the 10 best players in the NBA?
I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, but Evan Turner comes to mind. He had a good NBA career, but he was so good at Ohio State. He did everything. Everything made sense about Evan Turner in the league, and he never lived up to being the number 2 overall pick.
I'm going to give you one that, to me, when he fell in the draft, I'm thinking, oh, you guys know what you're talking about. Justice Winslow. Justice Winslow was one of those players that it made a lot of sense in college why it didn't work, but when you got to the league, it was like, okay, he's going to be a very good player.
No, because I watched that Duke team every game. He had a great NCAA tournament. And that's what happens. You get drafted out in NCAA tournament and you never live out. I mean, I thought he'd be a better pro, but I never saw that in the regular season from him.
I'm a little surprised that Rob Dillingham isn't working right now in the league, too. He just was a walking bucket.
Can anybody name a Kentucky player who's good in the league at the moment?
All right.
Not from like the early Calipari days.
I got you. Yeah, it's been a while since they've had one of those
Wallace guys. Or Cason Wallace, can't even play.
It's been one of those guys. Rob, do you have a player that when you watched them play in college, you were just certain that guy was going to be a good pro?
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
That's a good one. He couldn't shoot, though.
I thought he would figure it out offensively one day. I'm like, that guy's long, athletic, can defend. If he can just score a little bit, he'll be a guy in the league. He could never score.
We do love rangy 6'8" wing players. It is the best.
I still don't understand how Michael Beasley didn't, at a minimum, become Kristaps Porzingis. It was I've never seen a basketball player make playing basketball look as easy as Michael Beasley. The only one I would say is even close is Kevin Durant.
I don't think it was anything ever physical with Michael Beasley.
No, I'm 100% with you. But you know how some people are like, they are your favorite basketball player's favorite basketball player? That's who Michael Beasley is. Guys that hoop got all the respect in the world for Michael Beasley.
Probably a lot of dudes from like Texas, too.
You seem like you used to believe in an AC law back in the day.
He went to Texas A&M.
Yeah, I don't know.
TJ Ford, I also fell for it.
Yeah. He was too small.
You loved the Hollis Price back in the day.
No, too small.
You loved
too small.
A Hollis Price.
Ben Simmons is a good one.
Another player that I don't think is physical. 100% mental.
Yeah, and he was so good in Philly the first 2 years, too. And then he gave up that layup in the playoffs.
That was the end of his career.
Completely
That was the end of his career.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I have here. In celebration of day one of the NBA, you are a Duke fan.
Yep.
And Rob is a KU fan.
Is Rob going to be able to fill out a roster for? I don't even know the game we're about to play. It feels like build your NBA starting five from your favorite college team.
Not at all.
Can Rob fill out a team?
No, that's not what we're going to do here. So you know what? I'm going to let you set the over-under for Rob. Rob, pull up the sounder for 30 seconds with the horn.
Oh, God.
I'm going to let you set the over-under, and we're going to see how many of the KU players that are in the NBA that Rob can name. There are 11 of them currently in the NBA. There are 11 former KU players that are currently in the NBA.
Two are starters, probably.
How many of these guys do you think that Rob will be able to name?
7.5.
All right, we're setting the over under at 7.5 here in 30 seconds. You know what? I think Rob's gonna do it. You know what? I'm gonna bet on my guy. I'm gonna take the over under for Rob. I'm gonna take the over under 7.5. I think he gets 9.
I can legitimately think of 2 off the top of my head.
All right, I think Rob's
bad.
I think Rob's gonna think of more. All right, Rob, hit the music here. 30 seconds. I'll count you down. There are 11 current KU players that are in the NBA. How many of them can you name? On your mark, get set, go.
Christian Brown just got paid. Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid, Kelly Oubre is still in the league. Svi is still in the league. Markieff Morris, I believe, is still in the league. Ochai Abaji's in the league. Grady Dick is in the league. Anyone else just still kicking around? Jalen Wilson's still in the league. Jalen Wilson's on the Nets right now. Anyone else off those title teams?
That was
got an 8. Got 8.
I set the right line there.
Yeah, no, you said it at 8.
I know you. I bet I can name one that Rob wasn't thinking of.
All right,
and I don't know if you even get credit for KU for this. The best dunker in the NBA, Johnny Furphy.
Johnny Furphy.
Furphy, yeah.
Absolutely.
Would Quentin Grimes have counted? I got kind of stuck on
Quentin Grimes did. He went to Kansas. He does count.
He played. He almost none at Kansas. But
there's actually one more player that you guys did not name.
Give me an era.
Devontae Graham?
Devontae Graham's not in the league.
He can't be in the league anymore.
He was on the Hornets for a long time.
There's one more player.
Give me a clue or an era.
He got drafted in 2024. No chance you know.
I'm out.
No chance you know. You're done. Who do you think it is? Drafted in 2024.
He's out. Oh, drafted in 20. And it's not Furphy?
It is not Furphy, no.
I've been on that.
I hate
You're going to kick yourself when I tell you the name.
Steve Mikhailuk. I hate that guy.
It's going to be someone off that team I hated. Who was it?
Kevin McCullough.
Yep.
Kevin McCullough plays for the Knicks.
Yeah, he's at the end of the bench.
Kevin McCullough plays for the Knicks.
He was more Texas Tech than KU, but I get it.
Those are the 11 players from Kansas that are currently in the NBA.
There's 2 good players in the league from Kansas.
Okay, all right.
But
now,
am I wrong?
No, I'm just saying that. Now when the text line says, "Oh, Carrington, you said that," I didn't say that.
No, I said that. There's 2. Joel Embiid, you get 75% credit for Joel Embiid because he plays 52 games. And
Wiggins is a good player. Wiggins is a good player.
He's a solid player.
Yeah, Christian Brown's a good player.
Christian Brown and Andrew Wiggins combined for 1 good player, and Joel Embiid is 3/4 of a good player.
Christian Brown's a good player. I can't believe you put me in a position I got to defend KU guys. Christian Brown's a good player.
We're putting Andrew Wiggins in. He's a rotational piece.
Jalen Wilson's fine. He's fine.
No. Who does he play for?
He plays for the Nets.
Okay, that's all that needs to be said.
He plays for the
Jalen
Nets.
Wilson cannot be good at the NBA. I'm sorry. No chance.
So, Rob, now we get to turn things on Steven Spector here.
Oh, God.
There are 19 Duke players that are currently in the NBA. I want you to set the over-under, Rob. How many of these guys do you think Spec can name? There are currently 19 Duke players in the league.
I'm trying to think how many post-COVID that he wouldn't have watched.
All of them.
The problem is I'm so bad. I'm so bad at this game on under pressure.
I'm gonna say there's so many guys. I'm gonna say 9.5.
Oh, he's setting it at 9.5. I'll take the under on that one. All right, let's go ahead and get the music fired up here. You got 30 seconds to name as many former Duke players that currently are in the league. On your mark, get set, go.
Zion, Kyrie, Cam Reddish, Jabari Parker. I hate being on the clock.
This game's always easy when you play it on the podcast.
No, I know. I'm terrible. I'm just blanking. Cooper Flagg.
He counts.
Oh, Gary Trent Jr. Did I already say Cam Reddish?
You did.
Okay.
Don't matter. You're out of here.
This is not my game.
You didn't even do Knoppel? You had
you had a lot of guys you could have went.
Knoppel's right there.
Malawak, I'm just not good at this type of game.
Okay, you ready? Grayson Allen, Marvin Bagley.
Grayson Allen's a bad
Marvin Bagley's still in the league? Okay, that's the answer. I thought Marvin Bagley was going to be the best player ever to come out of Duke in the NBA. He should have been so good.
Marvin Bagley currently plays for your Wizards. That's who he plays for.
I actually did know that.
That's basically 1 foot out of the league.
Yeah, that's the same as Jalen Wilson playing for the Nets.
Yeah, that's
your last chance.
R.J. Barrett, Wendell Carter Jr., Kyle Filipowski, Brandon Ingram, you name Kyrie, Jalen Johnson, Trey Jones, Tyus Jones, Luke Kennard, Derek Lively, who was turned into a very good NBA player, Jared McCain, Mason Plumlee, Jason Tatum, Mark Williams, and Zion Williamson. Those were the
real basketball players. You named a lot of real basketball players there.
All right. I just wanted to let you guys know that was not
Jabari Parker. When you were answering, you said
Jabari Parker was a great college player.
He was
and the best high school player in the country at the time.
I actually kind of feel like he got kind of, you always say like some guys were like too early or too late. The league really started to change when Jabari Parker was there.
Yeah.
Like if he had played a decade earlier, he'd have been a top 5 player in the league. But the league got so spaced out.
His size hurt him at the end, and he got a knee injury, and he just never put it back together.
Spec, we appreciate you coming in studio to celebrate the start of the NBA season.
Just a reminder that Duke's the best college basketball program in the country.
Coming up on the other side, we'll play the national reaction to the beatdown the Chiefs gave the Raiders. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's game day, and nothing says Chiefs football like the aroma of a tailgate grill. Kick off your pregame party with a Kingdom Meat Bundle from Hy-Vee. Get 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 pork chops, 4 bratwurst, and 4 chuck patties for just $30. Plus, get a 10-cent per gallon fuel saver. Toss in some chips and dip, side dishes, and Chiefs-themed baked goods. Score the extra point with your favorite tailgate beverage from Hy-Vee Wine and Spirit. Just one stop for all your game day needs, only at Hy-Vee.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. We have the holidays coming up, good comfort food aplenty. With that in mind, we are running a garbage disposal special of $100 off. We only install incinerators. A good working disposal is key to avoiding drain backups, and no one needs surprises these days. So call 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right. With a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Discover the latest HVAC, plumbing, and trade solutions with companies like Honeywell and Aprilaire and 20-plus other vendors at the Kansas City Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. This Thursday, October 23rd, 3 to 6 at J. Rieger & Co. Distillery. Plus, enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prizes, and networking.
This is Dana Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dana Hughes. BG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, I want to ask you guys this question. Is there anything the NBA could do to get you interested in this upcoming season? I think there are a lot of really exciting storylines. I enjoy the NBA. Rob, you also enjoy the NBA. Kansas City is an excellent sports town. There is a sports league that starts today that has 11 former KU players in it, and some of them are very good. Is there anything the NBA could do to get you interested in this upcoming season? We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. If you missed it earlier today, we were talking about the attack on Pro Football Focus. If you missed it, Geno Smith had a higher rating than Patrick Mahomes. Here's Nick Wright.
Pro Football Focus's quarterback rating system said on Sunday, Geno Smith played a better game than Patrick Mahomes.
Needs to be tweaked.
They published that. They put that out to the world. They said from a passing perspective, on Sunday, Geno was the 12th best quarterback in the league with a 67 grade, and Patrick Mahomes was the 16th best on Sunday with a 62 grade.
Okay. I mean, if that's the conclusion that you came to, then something is wrong. Patrick Mahomes is likely going to win AFC Offensive Player of the Week again. He completed 75% of his passes, threw for 286 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and they basically punted on the second half of the game. So I don't know why Mahomes was the 16th ranked quarterback. I also don't know why he was ranked behind Geno Smith. But that was one of the things we talked about in the 2 o'clock hour. So you guys know Nick Wright, very big national voice. Every Tuesday, we like to kind of go around the National Football League and hear what people are saying about the Kansas City Chiefs. Here is Colin Cowherd.
I don't feel bad for the Chargers or Baltimore or Joe Burrow and the Bengals, although he's hurt this year. All these teams had a chance. Kansas City was 3-3. They didn't have Rice. They didn't have Worthy. This was your time to make up ground on them. But right now, Kansas City's not only back, I think they're better than ever. They have drafted so well. This is the deepest, twitchiest, most unique wide receiving core, the best play designer, the best distributor. I watched yesterday, and it was like Mahomes was in a baseball cap in the fourth quarter. It's like they pulled their starting pitcher after a great two-hitter, and he had a 6-run lead in the 7th inning, and he sat in the dugout and watched. But I don't see a hole. I said this a month ago when they clobbered the Ravens. Everybody said, oh, the Ravens are beat up. That's not what I watched. Right now, they just keep adding elements. And I saw it with the Rams in Jacksonville. The smart teams in this league, they miss on draft picks. They make mistakes. They get players hurt. They have 2 and 3 game slumps. But they course correct. They identify mistakes quickly.
I think that's one of the biggest talking points from this week regarding the Chiefs. Now, I think the Broncos took advantage of it. The Chiefs were down, and the Broncos, they went 5-2 during that stretch. Now, they've had a couple of losses. I don't think the expectation right now in this league is that the Broncos should be 7-0. They've won a couple of games they probably should have lost. They lost a couple of games that they should have won. Things have evened out. I think the Broncos are going to be a playoff team. The team that should really be kicking themselves is the Chargers. The Chargers started off the year 3-0. They have the Giants then coming up. Every game that the Chargers have lost so far this season, I've seen them lose that game 1,000,000 times. And there was a fork in the road about what kind of team the Chargers wanted to be. Were the Chargers going to be the Lions? Were they going to be the Buccaneers? Were they going to be Kansas City, Philadelphia? That was off to the left. Usually their season goes off to the right, where they're just one of the rest of the teams in the league. The Chargers might win 9 games this year. Maybe they win 10 games this year. They'll probably be a wild card team. They'll go on the road in round 1 of the playoffs, and they'll lose in the wild card round. Like, we've just seen this happen so much. I don't think you can be critical of the Broncos in this way, at least the way that Colin Cowherd was describing it. You certainly can when it came to the Chargers. You've already beaten Kansas City, so you already had a one-up on them. And then for you to now right now be sitting here and you got the same record as the Chiefs, you got to be embarrassed about the way that this started off. You started off 3-0. The Chiefs started off 0-2. They've been looking under 500 a couple of times. That was your chance to really create the distance. You didn't create the distance. You're dead. You're done in the AFC West. The Broncos still very viable. The Chargers, they are not viable. It's tied now from this point. I don't care about the tiebreaker. They're going to play each other again, so the tiebreaker doesn't matter at this point. Who do you trust to win more games from now until the end of the season, the Chiefs or the Chargers? That is a no-brainer question. If you were asking me, it is much more likely Kansas City wins more games than the Chargers do. So that was Colin Cowherd. Here's Chris Broussard of First Things First, a colleague of Nick Wright. He says no one's challenging the Chiefs.
No one right now looks like they can challenge the Chiefs in the AFC. Yeah. And so that's why it's bittersweet. And here's the thing, Nick. It's early. Obviously, it's only week, 7? You could even say, in this sense, they're beyond back. Because right now, in total offense, they are top 5. In total defense, they are top 5. What we've typically seen is one or the other. Yeah, early on in Mahomes' career, it was the offense was great, the defense is okay, solid. Then it became the defense is great, the offense is solid, okay, situational. Now they look great on both sides of the ball.
That was Chris Broussard of Fox Sports 1 talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's a very, very good point. The Chiefs right now look to be a team who have a chance of being elite on both sides of the ball. Only one team in the league has scored more points than they have. It's the Colts. Defensively, list the team that you think is better defensively than Kansas City. It's not a lot of teams that you would put on this list. Usually has kind of been one or the other. I would say the last couple of years, Chiefs have been a top 5 defense in the league. They've been kind of middle of the pack or slightly below average when it comes to the offensive side. When the Chiefs had the most dynamic offense in the league, their defense was fine. We're talking about a team right now that if they continue to stay healthy, continue to grow and progress the way that everyone expects, we're talking about a team that could have possibly the best offense in the league and a top 5 considered defense. That's why I said this a couple of weeks ago. I know the Chiefs are going to have a worse record than they did last year. This team is much more complete, and they have a much heavier punch than they had last year. Last year's team couldn't really knock anybody out. That's why they played 11 one-score games. That's why the end of games were so weird and kooky. I don't think this team's going to have a lot of those games. Sure, they're going to lose again. Someone's going to beat this team again. But you've just seen, they're blowing teams out. When they get that drive, when they get you down and you got a chance to go down 14, 21 points, they are able to put you away with their offense. That hasn't really been a thing for Kansas City the last couple of years. I want to play one more cut for you guys, and then we'll ask the question about the NBA. Here is Emmanuel Acho talking about the Chiefs and their offense.
The Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, not just because of how they're playing the last 2 weeks, but they're the best team in the AFC because we believe in the Chiefs. We know Patrick Mahomes is going to show up. We know Andy Reid's going to show up. We know they're going to have tricks up their sleeve. Not only can they beat you fundamentally, they can outsmart you as well. Then Rashee Rice comes back. He instantly gets 6-7 catches. Travis Kelce seems like he's getting back into gear and getting back into shape. Xavier Worthy, he'll make a splash play here, a splash play there. And more than anything, the running game is consistently starting to grow, so Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to do everything. If the Chiefs can continue to build on this offensively, who in the hell in the AFC looks intimidating? I do see them reigning as king again.
Yeah, I feel like as we are starting to sort the AFC out a little bit, it kind of feels like more of the same. The Chiefs are sitting at the top of the conference. The Bills right now, I still think they're the second best team in the AFC. You got a group of other teams that we're still trying to figure out. Denver, Indianapolis. You got those group of teams. But it feels like, man, the more things change supposedly in the AFC, the more it is just a repeat of what we've seen before. And if you're going to knock Kansas City off or you're going to win this division, it's just going to take a very, very complete effort. Whether it's from the Colts in the playoffs, whether it's from the Broncos in the division, Buffalo, whomever it's going to be, like you're going to have to play really, really well and be very well-rounded in order to knock Kansas City out of the postseason. Coming up on the other side, today is day 1 of the NBA. I'm asking the question, is there anything the NBA could do to possibly get you interested in the league? We'll talk about it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more. And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Schedule your home improvement project while the weather is still nice with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and their extended summer sale. PowellExteriorsKC.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
The fastest street cars, burnouts, car show, barbecue competition, and Chris Jansen live Saturday night. I can fix Boost and Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip, Odessa. Kids 12 and under free. Tickets at boostandbarbecue.com.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you'd find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This has been brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. We've got the crash in Shawnee, and that is 35 northbound Shawnee Mission Parkway. Off to the right shoulder, some onlooker delay. 470 northbound, just before Lakewood. Right lane is blocked there. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. They've been in business since 2012, offering residential service and project work like commercial and router service. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, there is possibly an update on where the Royal Stadium is going to go. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. I would like to talk about the NBA for just a little bit because the NBA gets going today. This is my question. Text line 913-586-7965. Is there anything that the NBA could do that could have you interested in watching their sport? I think if we were talking about from a skill level standpoint, I think this is the most skilled era of basketball that we have ever seen. I think if you look at a large majority of the league, almost every team in the league has a player that is worth the price of admission to go watch play. I think the NBA television contract is better now than it has been in years past. Today, they are opening up the season on NBC. So I think the ratings are going to go up this year just because they're putting more games on regular standard television. Now, I don't want to make it seem like I think the NBA is perfect. And I think that if we are talking about sports leagues, the NBA has, I think, the biggest disconnect between your average everyday fan. My biggest complaint about the NBA is sometimes they just act like they're too cool to try. The fact that we have so much conversation about the NBA All-Star Game when basically all you're asking is you're asking 20 NBA players to give 25 minutes of their time for the fans, and they push back on it so hard, I think rubs a lot of people the wrong way. When you think about how much money good NBA players make to great NBA players. Like, I'm not here to put down Christian Brown. He just got $125 million guaranteed. Christian Brown gets paid like a franchise quarterback and is not a top 50 player in the NBA. Like, so the money is so ridiculous right now in the NBA that I think when you would say effort and energy is certainly a question in the NBA and something that they are regularly and routinely going back and forth with the players with. I think that has turned a lot of people off. I think the style of play has gotten very stale. And I say this as someone who loves basketball. It has become a three-point exhibition. Basketball is at its most interesting when it's played at the rim. When you get really fun and unique dunks, when you get creative layups, when players are banging and colliding against each other, when guys are really fighting for rebounds, basketball is at its best when it's played at the rim. And I think more than anything, there's a large group of basketball fans. I just want different kind of shots. This happens in college too. It's dribble, dribble, dribble. Can we get a corner three at some point in this possession? You guys can't shoot a floater? You guys can't shoot a mid-range? What happened to the Tim Duncan little 18-foot right there on the corner of the free throw line? What happened to that shot? I missed that shot. That was a fun shot. So I don't want to paint it like I think the NBA is perfect. But if it's a Wednesday and there's no football on, you're looking for something to watch, I mean, I'll be watching the NBA during those games. If it's a Friday night and you're telling me I get a Lakers-Sixers, Lakers-Rockets, I mean, I'll be watching on a Friday night. Now, my energy to the NBA, it goes in waves. I'll watch early on in the season. I kind of pick back up around Christmas. I pick back up around the NBA All-Star break. And then from that point, it's go time. It's now a sprint to the end of the season with the NBA playoffs right around the corner. So I don't want to paint it like I'm just locked in watching all 82 games of the NBA season. There's too much basketball, too much other stuff going on right now. But I am interested in the league. A lot of you are not interested in the league. I'm wondering if there is anything that the NBA could do. I mean, they're not shortening the season. Is there anything that the NBA could do this season that would have you say, man, it's a Tuesday night. I'm sitting at home. It's Thunder and Celtics on. You know what? I want to watch this game today. Because I'm guessing that a lot of you choose no on that option more times than not. There's an NBA game on today. There's nothing else happening right now. There's no baseball on. There's no college football today. There's no NFL on today. I mean, the NBA, I think, is actually going to do pretty decent today on NBC. Is there anything the NBA could do to get you to sit down and watch it today on NBC? Rob, you and I are NBA fans, so they already have us. What do you think the common response is going to be on the text line? Because I'm not looking at it.
So I think the text line is going to have a couple different answers. I think one you kind of hit on, which is the fact the game is so three-point centric now, which is just, it's basketball in general. And I don't know I love it either, but it is just, we talked about analytics earlier in the show. It's the wave. Now, why take a long two when you can step back and get a three, for a bonus point for doing it? So I think you're going to see a lot of that on the text line. I also think something you're going to see in the text line is, man, there's no connectivity to any of these teams locally. Like you mentioned, there's 11 KU players in the league, or I'd forget the number you said. And yeah, KU fans like watching those guys, but they don't feel a connection to a team. And when you don't feel a connection to a team, I'm just watching the league for the sake of watching the league. I don't think that draws people in outside of NBA markets the same way it does inside of NBA markets. I think it's like baseball that way, where it's like, oh man, it's Tigers and Mariners on a Thursday night. Well, the Royals could really have the Tigers lose a game, maybe get a half game. I'll put it on the background. There is no feeling like that in the NBA in Kansas City. Why do I care about Celtics and Bucks? I don't gain anything from watching it other than saying I watched it. So I think you're going to see a lot of there's no connectivity to Kansas City because of its lack of team.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I guess I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it is there is a group of people that really hate the NBA. I don't think there's a group of people that hate hockey. There's a lot of people like me. Hey, I've never been to a hockey game. I didn't grow up in a hockey market. I don't bother hockey. Hockey doesn't really bother me. You don't really get a lot of people on the text line that hate hockey. There is that sentiment around the NBA. When I would say Kansas City, for the most part, really loves and appreciates basketball. The same basketball players that you go down into the Big 12 tournament and watch and play, they keep playing after they leave wherever they were at. Christian Brown still plays basketball for a living. He's actually very good at it. So a lot of the guys that you watch and follow and spend 3-4 years, you can still continue to watch them. And a lot of people just outright say no in that instance. I've always just been very curious on the why and what could they possibly do to get you on the side of doing it. Because if you're saying the season's too long, they're not fixing that part of it. And that's not an issue of why you don't watch baseball. No one says I don't watch baseball because the season's too long. No, you just watch the games you're going to watch. Hey, I come home, I got the game on, I'm doing all this other stuff. That's just not really how we talk, and that's not really how we treat the NBA, which is very interesting to me.
It is odd. I have always felt this. I don't have any problem with people who don't watch the NBA, don't care about the NBA. There are probably reasons why you don't like the NBA, and that's fine. I don't care. What has always confused me, and you touched on there, is in Kansas City, at least, there's like a visceral reaction from people when you do talk about the NBA or say you're an NBA fan. We had Steven Spector on the show earlier. He makes fun of me all the time in the office for loving college basketball. All the time. It's his favorite hobby. But you know what? At the end of the day, no one's ever like, oh, college basketball, disgusting. But when we talk about the NBA, that is how some people react. And I don't understand hating it. If you don't like it and if it's not for you, that's fine. But I've never understood the visceral hate. And I think that there is probably something to that beyond just what's happening on the court. And I can't put my finger on it. We asked Scott Parks in the newsroom, and he just waxed poetically about 90s nostalgia, which I guess it could be that, but I don't know why people hate the league the way they do.
I asked Parks this question earlier, and he said, and I love Parks. I really said this. I asked Parks, hey, I asked Parks this question because I thought he's a good person. He said in the 90s, they had more characters. And the first person he named, you were there, he said John Starks. I assure you they have John Starks today in the NBA. I assure you that they do. I'm with you. Now, there are things that I very much love about the NBA. I love the drama and the storylines about the NBA. Like, I love it. For those of you that watch wrestling, they ain't got nothing on the storylines they got in the NBA. I also just love the athleticism that we have. There's currently a 7'5" player that plays for the San Antonio Spurs that you have never seen anything like. There's not a basketball player that you have ever seen play basketball that is anything like Victor Wembanyama. That's interesting to me. You have the greatest shooter in the world. Everybody listening has shot a basketball at some point in their life. There's a person currently playing in the NBA that's better at it than all of them. So you've got, I would say, a very interesting crop of new players that are emerging. Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Victor Wembanyama, etc. You still got the old guard, so the players that we grew up with, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Steph Curry, all of those guys. I would say, especially in the Eastern Conference, it is as wide open as it's ever been. Who's the best team in the East right now? Is it the Knicks? Is it the Cavs? Is it the Orlando Magic? So one of the complaints about the NBA was, well, we know how it's going to end. That's not how I would say it is right now. And I would say, if you'd say that's a complaint that you have about the league, that's how the league always is. You can't tell me that you hate parity in the league and then love the 90s, because the 90s had no parity in the league. One team went to all the finals and won all of the finals. The 2000s didn't really have parity in the NBA. There's never been more parity in the league than we have right now. They've had 7 different champions in the last 7 years. So I would say a lot of the things that people say they want the NBA to have, it currently has in the league.
I would also say, and I'm not saying this is how I feel, I would also say the last reason why people don't like it, and I think this is lame, but that's fine, because I'm using what we talked in the newsroom about earlier. There's a thought that, well, no one calls traveling, the game's not officiated correctly, so I won't watch it. I don't know why, but that sentiment with the NBA comes up more often than any other sport we follow. I don't like the way it's officiated. I can't watch. I think that is I don't have the text line up. I imagine that is a sentiment that you are seeing. And I'm not going to lie to you. There are a lot of uncalled travels in the league. It does exist. I'm not even going to hide from it. What was that one LeBron tried once? He said, I didn't travel. I crab dribbled or whatever he called it. That was a travel.
I actually feel like the traveling gives the league characters. I find it humorous. I mean, people do hate the officiating league. That's 100%. That's fair.
And I think people, and again, there's bad officiating in every sport, but the NBA, they point to the officiating. They don't call that one call. I can't watch because of it.
And this is the last thing, and we can move on from this. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these kinds of things. No one that loves college basketball likes it for the game. It's all the other stuff. Like right now, on our top text line, college basketball is just so much more entertaining to watch. The games are more intense. There's more heart and passion. The NBA is a snooze fest with divas traveling, no defense, and 53s. I honestly don't know how you could watch college basketball and watch the NBA and be more entertained with college basketball. I don't understand it. I watch a lot of college basketball, watch a lot of NBA. I don't know how you could be more entertained by the basketball. The people that like college basketball like it for all of the other things. They like it because of the crowd. They like it because of the intensity of the people around it. No one ever talks about how good the basketball is with college basketball. It's just the fixings. And that's a fantastic part of it. That's what makes it so cool. Part of what makes college football cool is the upset and the fans running onto the field. But I actually like the product when I'm watching college football. The product in college basketball is certainly improving. And I feel like because of now NIL and kids staying around, there's more continuity than there were before. But I don't know how you could turn a college basketball game on, turn an NBA game on, and be more impressed with what you're watching in college than the NBA. I don't know how that's possible.
I also think, and this is kind of to your college basketball point, and it's something we experience in Kansas City with the baseball team, I do think the NBA has an inventory problem. And the fact that I think there's too much inventory.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
One of the reasons why the NFL has become the dominant force it is among sports in America is it's the perfect television show. Like it's a better product on television than any other sport, period. 2, it has a scarcity of games, so you feel like every game's important. Basketball doesn't have that. Even if they dropped to 60 games, they would have it more, but there would still be, hey, it's third place in the East is on the line. Doesn't have the same juice as the AFC West's on the line. It just doesn't have the same Basketball and college basketball has this problem too. It has an inventory problem. There's too many games, and people think if they miss one, life goes on. And because of that, I think people find themselves tuning out on an average night.
I want to play this audio for you guys. So Rob actually brought this to my attention. I actually did not see this. This is from Ty Masterson. He's been on the show before, right? Not friend of the show, but he's been on the show one time before. He is expecting some news about the Royals and where their stadium could be.
The only site the Royals are considering is the one just south of where we are right now.
Masterson spoke to us for about 10 minutes in his hometown of Andover.
I am anticipating being presented with a proposal from the Department of Commerce and the team either at my late November or early December LCC meeting. That's what I'm expecting.
Masterson says he believes there are more Royals season ticket holders on the Kansas side than the Missouri side.
I do know a majority of the Royals fans are on our side of the fence, so it makes sense.
So Ty Masterson, he's been on the show before. He's pretty plugged in when it comes to this. I will continue to ask the exact same question about Kansas that I've asked this entire time. I understand why the Chiefs are having a real dilemma. What the Chiefs want and what the Royals want are two very different things, and they are weighing two very different options. The Chiefs have an iconic stadium that is known around the world, and they are thinking about either putting more money and renovating that stadium or having someone else build them a completely new stadium. Now, the Royals are also thinking about getting a new stadium, but there is no scenario in which they stay where they currently are. They have told you that at every single turn. We don't want to be at the Truman Sports Complex anymore. They have never proposed a single idea that would keep them at the Truman Sports Complex. If this Kansas deal is so great, why have they not taken it? Right now, there is one thing that they can do to never have to talk to Mayor Quentin Lucas again, never have to talk to the city of Kansas City again. They don't have to talk to North Kansas City. We've already bought land out here. This is where we think the best future for the Kansas City Royals are. And I think a lot of people would understand, especially with everything that is going on in Missouri, from $100 million deficit to what's going on with Frank White. Like, you have been given every possible out, if you want, of Missouri, where it could be like, all right, it's time to do something different. Why have the Royals just not simply taken it at this point? You cannot improve the Kansas deal from where it's at. That deal has been there from the moment that the vote failed last April. They have had the opportunity to take the exact same deal every single day, and they keep waiting and waiting not to. So then it just makes me question if they're ever going to take the deal because, again, what they want, what their options are so very different than what the Chiefs' options are.
Let me ask you this. Let me see if you agree with this theory I have. I guess a better way to say it. On why the Royals are still him-hawing around. I think the two things the Royals want, and maybe not in order, are they want downtown baseball and they don't want another vote. Those are the two things I think the Royals want more than anything. And it's sounding more and more, and we get these news reports and they're kind of leaking out over time, like they are at least leaning toward 119th or Clay County. Clay County has to have a vote. 119th doesn't. They can just kind of go there. The mayor always says they don't need a vote to go downtown. So I think the Royals are trying to find a way to circumvent a vote to get their new stadium.
Well, let me ask you this, because I think this is a very valid question. You don't think that vote would pass in Clay County? Because I'm just thinking. I
don't think so. It would be a pretty big tax hike in Clay County to build the stadium. I don't think it's the Royals. I think in America, if you say taxes are going up, people don't vote for that. They just don't.
I'm 100% with you there, and that makes a lot of sense. But I guess what I would argue is, if you are North Kansas City and you are a proud North Kansas City person, like there's everybody from the Metro is like really proud of it. Whether you grew up in Midtown, maybe you grew out in Overland Park, like you were really proud of your area. North Kansas City has never had anything close to this opportunity. You will never get the Chiefs. The Chiefs have no interest in going north of the river. This is your one opportunity in your life to secure the Royals. You will never get this opportunity again. If they build a stadium downtown, you will not get this opportunity again. If the Royals go to Kansas, they don't in 25 years decide, you know what, our stadium really should have been in North Kansas City. Let's tear this one down and let's start over. You get one shot at a stadium. So if you're North Kansas City and you don't vote yes on this thing, then okay. Then you will continue to be overlooked by a large portion of the metro area that for now, Rob, you never go over there. You live on 135th. Why would you ever go to Armour Road to hang out or do anything? This is the one time you will get real legitimate tourism and push local business from all across the metro, from all across the region that come to Royals games. And you're going to vote no on it? Well, then you don't deserve the team then. I'm sorry, you don't deserve the team in that scenario. So if they get that opportunity and they put it on the ballot and they vote no, then I don't know what to tell you then at that standpoint. I know things are bad for the Royals. I don't know if it's that bad they would get voted down in North Kansas City. I don't know if things are that bad.
I actually don't think it has anything to do with the Royals. I think what's going to happen is if you say we have to have a tax hike in Clay County and there has to be all this we've read the letter from the mayor of North KC. There has to be infrastructure changes. Like there's more to just plopping a stadium down North KC. I think right now the climate in America, they're not going to say yes to more taxes. And I think what the Royals want is to avoid losing at the ballot again. Because let's be honest, the Chiefs also had egg on their face too. But the Royals, absolutely, it was more than Royals and the Chiefs, got pummeled at the ballot, and they don't want to open themselves up for that moment again. I do think it might win in Clay, but there's a chance it doesn't because of a tax hike. And you cannot open yourself up to be the professional sports team that lost a vote twice. That is a humiliating thing to be.
But this is where I don't think you're holding the Royals' feet to the fire enough. The Royals also put a half-ass plan together. If you whenever the Royals officially tell us whatever their plan is, I don't know. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 3 months. If you don't feel like it's a complete version, everybody associated should be fired. You've had almost 2 years to regroup. And I think everybody knows the next time that you stand in front of the public with pictures and examples and financials and all those things, you better come correct. So I think part of why it failed, a large portion of it why it failed is I think everybody could see through it. You guys don't have all your ducks in a row. People aren't stupid. I think we see this all the time. People are willing to pay for things. We talk about how expensive concerts are. People pay to go to concerts from artists that they like. I'm looking at Taylor Swift shows. People don't seem to have a problem paying what she's asking. People go see Beyonce. People go see Drake. They ain't coming to see that artist because that artist isn't good enough to charge what they're charging. So I'm with you. No one wants to pay more taxes. But I think there is an understanding, hey, if you want the Chiefs to stay in Jackson County, you got to pay for it to continue to stay there. So when you present, hey, what should we pay for? You can't just give us more heaters, is what you asked us to pay for the last time. The Royals asked for more, or the Chiefs asked for more heaters and upgraded suites. I can see why the public is like, no, I don't want to help pay for that. So if you are going to present this idea, whether it's in downtown Kansas City or Clay County, you as the billion-dollar company that is going to ask for a lot of money, hey, you need to have a detailed plan on how this helps the residents of Clay County. And if you can't figure that out after 2 years at the drawing board, then you guys don't deserve us to help you pay for a new stadium. Figure out a way to pay for it for yourself.
I agree with that. I do think it's interesting. And I'm saying this as someone who lives in that area and doesn't really want the ballpark there. Ty Masterson, who's part of the Kansas City lawmaker group, I believe he's part of the Kansas State Senate, is saying we're a month away from the Royals' plan being proposed, and that's the closest we've heard to an actual timeline. So if Ty Masterson's correct and they come to Kansas and say, here's our plan in the next month, it does sound like, is Kansas now reemerging as the favorite? Because like a week ago, the favorite was Clay, and before that, the favorite was like, these things pivot. Do you feel like right now, based on what Ty Masterson is saying, Kansas is the favorite to get the Royals?
I just feel like Ty Masterson is kind of one of those things like, do you ever expect Ty Masterson to say anything different? I'm not throwing shade at the man, but I guess what I'm saying is I love Nick Wright. When I turn on First Things First, regardless of what happens with the Chiefs, I know what side Nick's going to be on. I know every single time. Nick ain't going to be like, hey, man, I don't know. They played poorly. I ain't never heard that come out of Nick's mouth. There's not a situation in which I think a Kansas Center is going to be like, I don't know, man. Our package actually really isn't that good. Missouri's put a really good one together. No, he's been telling you for a year how confident he is that they're getting the teams. And somehow nothing has happened. Remember that letter that came out? That letter came out 6 months ago. That letter came out. What's happened with that letter? We've heard no updates, no nothing when it comes to it. The deal is still the deal. They have every single opportunity right now. We could just end this conversation. They're not even leaking reports that they're super interested in Kansas. The last report we got about Kansas was when they bought that land. And that was 8 months ago they bought that land. That's a long time ago that story came out. They're not even leaking information that they're super interested in going over the camp. Maybe they do. Maybe I end up looking silly. I just will continue to say it's been there the whole time. Why is it taking you so long to take what everybody keeps saying is the best deal in the region? No public vote, don't need anybody's help, got all the space in the world. That's where all the season ticket holders are. There are all the advantages in the world of moving to Kansas. Why haven't they taken the deal yet? Coming up at the top of the hour, Joshua Briscoe will join us on the show. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Let's go!
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. With rates as low as 4.5% and your home's equity at record highs, now's the time to refinance. Our cash-out customers save an average of more than $1,000 a month and even skip 2 payments. Call 913-890-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Hi, I'm Dallas, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You know she loves her Shane Company engagement ring, but you also want to surprise her for her birthday, anniversary, or just because she deserves it. Why not get her a bigger diamond with our easy trade-up program? We'll give you the full credit of your original natural diamond purchase toward a new one. Her new diamond only has to be $1 more. You only pay the difference. How's that for an easy trade-up? Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's game day, and nothing says Chiefs football like the aroma of a tailgate grill. Kick off your pregame party with a Kingdom Meat Bundle from Hy-Vee. Get 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 pork chops, 4 bratwurst, and 4 chuck patties for just $30. Plus, get a 10-cent per gallon fuel saver. Toss in some chips and dip, side dishes, and Chiefs-themed baked goods. Score the extra point with your favorite tailgate beverage from Hy-Vee Wine and Spirit. Just one stop for all your game day needs, only at Hy-Vee.
Things are getting spooky in South Kansas City, but the deals at Rob Sight Ford, they're scary good. Rob Sight is with me. Hey, Rob, what's haunting the lot this month?
No tricks, just treats. From Broncos to Explorers to F-150s and commercial vehicles, we've got the inventory, the selection, and the lowest prices in Kansas City.
And no creepy sales tactics, just non-commissioned staff and real value.
Exactly. And while we're on the scary stuff, Kevin, your brisket from last weekend still haunts me.
Okay, dry rub shouldn't actually mean dry.
But here's the real flavor. KC's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in KC by Kansas City Magazine.
If you want simple, upfront, and easy, Rob Sight Ford is the treat you've been looking for. Visit 135th and State Line and buy right with Rob Sight.
Rob Sight Ford, ROBSIGHT.com. And Kevin, leave the cooking to us this Halloween.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Conley Plumbing Solutions. We've got that big crash. Shut down is 49 northbound just before Cass Parkway. That's a semi and a few cars involved in that. And before Belton, you've got 49 southbound before 155th. Left lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
I want to say that I appreciate everybody who reached out to me over the last 24 hours or so. I told you guys the story of how I went to go visit a property. I don't know if I'm going to buy anything, but I'm just interested in looking. And I felt like they was trying to get over on me. I really did. I felt like they were trying to swindle me. So I left. A lot of people have reached out. I just want to tell you that I appreciate you for that. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Joshua Briscoe. We'll get back to the Chiefs coming up in just a little bit. If you remember, the Chiefs put hands and feet all over the Las Vegas Raiders in Sunday's matchup. But you know what? We're going to have a little bit of fun today. Now, I was inspired to play this game because of Round Ball Rock. You guys know the NBA on NBC Music. And today, we are going to hear it on NBC for the first time in a long time. The NBA is back today. There's 2 games on NBC, and they are back covering the NBA. But that's not what this segment is about. So I asked Rob to do a little bit of a toss-up segment. Rob is going to play 2 iconic sports theme songs, and we're going to pick which one we like more. Rob, take it away.
Carrington, let's start in the college sports sphere. I'm talking about CBS college sports. You tell me which of these iconic theme songs is better on CBS college sports. Is it A?
When I hear this, I think 2:30 Alabama, Georgia.
The fact they made this the Big Ten song, too,
Yeah, they
is a
need their own
travesty.
song. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? Like, right now, I could just see Tim Tebow throwing for 135 yards when I hear this music.
Or is this the more iconic CBS song?
I gotta go with the tournament music. I gotta go with the tourney music. It's just such a happy time of the year. When I hear that music, I think of me and you not really doing a lot of work from 11 to 2. You know, we got the TV set up.
Oh, we get
got a
2
little bit of
TVs.
food going on. We're watching the games. We're talking. We're just guys, just, having a good time. That's like the music that I hear. Like when you hear the Masters music and you think that's the start of spring. No, the college basketball music is the official start of spring to me. I hate to do it to the CBS NFL music. I got to pick the college basketball music. I'm sorry. I got to pick that one.
Moving on, 2 little under the radar, I don't want to say a little dark horse, but 2 that have intense fan bases that love these theme songs. Is it A, the one you mentioned, the Masters?
Yeah, this one's going to be low for me. I don't love the Masters the way that you love it. When I hear this, I think of a nap.
It just feels like, spring has sprung. Speaking of theme songs that you don't have any connection to, that's why I'm fascinated with this toss-up. How about the NHL on ESPN?
No, the NHL music's not even close.
Really?
Bum, 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 bum. It gets me fired up. Give me a little Barry Melrose breakdown here. Give me a little Canucks Red Wings. Yeah, absolutely. That Masters music, no, get that away from me. Yeah, the NHL music, that's some of the best ESPN music they've put together. Turn it up again. Hit it again for me one more time. Hit it one more time. Oh, my goodness. You getting ready for a little Game 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give me the NHL music over there.
As someone who literally never hears this live on television, I was stunned.
It's still great music. That Masters music, no. You like that song?
It just, it transports me to the Masters.
You ain't never been.
Yeah, every year I get told no.
You want to go. Yeah, you want to go.
It ain't my lack of trying. That ain't the problem.
I get that.
All right, Carrington, let's talk about the NFL.
I applied for the lottery this year. I also, I did not make it.
What are you going to do? 2 of the iconic theme songs are both in the NFL. Is it A?
You know what? This one might be kind of low on the list. It just reminds me of just noon football. That's what that reminds me of. This reminds me of Dolphins Chiefs at noon.
I don't know why. I think of Priest Holmes every time I hear that song.
They played a lot of noon games.
Speaking of song you hear at noon, or is the better song?
Oh, the Fox music. When I think of the Fox music, I think of Cowboys at 325. I think of Cowboys Packers 325. I think of Niners Packers 325. You got Buck and Aikman, or you got John Madden.
No one thinks of Brady and Burkhardt. I'll tell you that.
For sure, definitely. Bring back Greg Olson is who we need back. R.I.P. to John Madden, man. One of the happiest things that ever happened in my life is knowing that John Madden got to watch this documentary before he passed. So happy. I'm happy that Madden knows how much we loved and appreciated him.
Corso hasn't passed, but Corso's in the same vein.
For sure.
We love and appreciate.
I'm happy that he knows how much we love him too.
Dick Vitale deserves that moment in the same vein.
Have you been waiting all night for Sunday night?
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
That one only works because there's a music video for a long time.
Yeah, the only reason I care about that is Carrie Underwood. I don't really care. The song stinks, but
exactly.
I just care about looking at Carrie Underwood. That's a very attractive woman.
I got one more toss-up, Carrington, and these are what I think are the 2 most iconic songs in sports. You tell me, is it A?
This just reminds me of a good old NBA triple header. The Knicks taking on the Bulls.
I can hear Bob Costas talking over this.
Oh, my goodness. Bob's about to... when that monologue hits for that, oh, my goodness, I can't wait.
Or, I know you're offended for the NBA, is this the more iconic song?
Can't believe you did this.
I wanted to put you in a blender.
I can't believe you did this to me.
Don't put me in charge of toss-ups.
This one's tough. I'm going to pick the NBA music.
Really?
I don't want to pick the NBA music, but I feel like I have to pick the NBA music because that's why we're doing this segment. But that Monday Night Football music, when they go live to the field, oh my goodness, it's iconic. When you used to get the Hank Williams Jr. intro leading into that music, and all your rowdy friends are here from Monday night, and then the two helmets would come together, boom, big collision.
And then
now we take the live look at the field. Oh my goodness. It gets you fired up. You don't even care about these two teams. I want to watch them now. Yeah, I'll watch Giants Cowboys on Monday Night Football now. Thank you. Oh man. Al Michaels. He did what? Oh, what a time. What an absolute time. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Joshua Briscoe of the Chiefs Radio Network. We'll ask him, at some point, I'm guessing in the second half of that game, he just got on TikTok. I want to find out when that started. Keep it right here as The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This was brought to you by Park and Go. We've got that big problem down south. Both directions are closed. 49 north and southbound closed at North Cass Parkway down in Cass County because of a serious wreck there. Traveling soon, make it easy with Park and Go. Hassle-free online booking, free instant shuttles, luggage assistance, and all spots are covered. Reserve now at bookparkandgo.com. The best deal in airport parking. Park and Go, family owned and operated. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The NBA is back. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss tip-off or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything. For who's going to score next to a fourth-quarter comeback. You can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout, however you want to play. Now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. So all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to sign up today. Fall is here, so celebrate the return of basketball season with our friends over at FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue. Non-withdrawal bonus bet. Expires 7 days on street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine. Make breakfast and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Zach.
Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today, I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get to pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Airman here for Midwest Heating. Now, we like to approach life in a lighthearted manner, but with the projected rise in natural gas prices, this winter's heating bills may be no joking matter. Many old furnaces have efficiency ratings as low as 60%, which means you're literally burning money. So think about this. Midwest Heating has a variety of high-efficiency Lennox systems that can heat your home, drastically improve your air quality, and boost that efficiency as high as 99%. Saving that kind of money each month will be a nice help for the other bills in your life. Even better, Midwest offers up to $1,800 in rebates on qualifying Lennox home comfort systems and up to 60-month 0% financing with approved credit. Dial 943-8787 or go to MidwestHeating.com for complete details. Now, for 7 decades, it's the same story. Trust your air to the best. Midwest. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park & Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and fan approved.
What's up, Kansas City? It's Nick Bolton. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Clean on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome back to The Drive on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Tune in on game day to hear them 3 hours before kickoff and immediately following the final whistle. Here's the new pregame and postgame host for the Chiefs Radio Network,
Kansas City wins the game!
Joshua Briscoe.
Let's go to the phone lines to be joined by our guy, Joshua Briscoe. Briscoe, how you doing, my man?
I'm great. I'm feeling well rested. We had a noon game. I got to sleep through the fourth quarter. I have no complaints.
I was just going to ask you, when did you lose interest in the game? Now, maybe you can't give us the real answer because you're the post-game host, so you got to make it seem like you were watching every single snap. But be real here. When that game got to the fourth quarter, you were on Instagram. You were on TikTok.
I am not yet that confident, Carrington. That's the only thing that kept me locked in. Because one of the last segments we do on post-game is the Chiefs replay, where I kind of narrate some of the key points of the game. We have Mitch's highlights interspersed and all of that. Here's what I will tell you. The fourth quarter section of the Chiefs replay was as short as any preseason quarter I think we did all preseason. I was keeping an eye on what was going on, but I certainly had a couple of drifting eyes to make sure, all the post-game ad copy was all set up the way that it was. I went into show prep earlier than usual. That's definitely true.
So a lot to get into. I guess let's just start with this. Have you ever seen an NFL team dominate another team the way that the Chiefs just went out there and beat up on the Las Vegas Raiders? I mean, the Raiders had 3 first downs. One of them was because of a penalty by Trent McDuffie. They had 95 total yards. They only got the ball past midfield one time. I mean, it is almost impossible to play worse than what the Raiders played. I made the analogy, it felt like Ohio State Akron in week 1 of the college football season. Have you ever seen an NFL team get dominated that way before?
Not in a way that I can remember, no. I mean, there might be another blip on the radar here or there, but factually speaking, Nate Tice tweeted out, it was right after the game, that the Raiders ran 30 plays, which is the fewest amount of plays an NFL offense has run in a game since at least 2002, according to True Media. And the reason it's at least 2002 is that the True Media data before then gets a little bit funky. I think Tice said that the expansion year Browns may have had a worse game, and then the Raiders, their 30 plays was the second worst in recorded NFL history. But beyond that, I mean, it was just such an utter thumping. It was both sides of the ball. There was nothing going for the Raiders offense, and they could not even slow down the Chiefs offense. It was truly one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen from really every metric. They literally brought in the second team, the preseason squad, for the entire fourth quarter and kneeled the clock out starting before the 2-minute warning. Here's my favorite weird little stat to point out how this game went. Robert Tonyan played more snaps than Chris Jones. Robert Tonyan played 24 snaps, which was just 30% of the offensive action. Chris Jones played 63% of the Chiefs' defensive snaps, 22. So it was a half day at the office for the defense, and it was a 3/4 day for the offense.
Let's talk about everybody's got to eat. I mean, in game 1 of this experiment, I mean, everybody's got to be happy. Basically, everybody that got into the game, that touched the ball, had a pretty good day. Nobody had one of those monster days, but this was just, man, how can you be upset? Kelsey ate a little bit. Rice ate a little bit. Brown, Worthy, Juju, everybody that got in the game played very well on Sunday.
They did, and I think this is the proof of concept, right? I mean, you're not going to get the Raiders defense every week, but I've also said that after the Ravens and Lions games in terms of not everybody's going to look like that. I don't know who added this addendum to the phrase, but I've been thinking about it a lot these last few days as everybody's got to eat is taking over. Somebody had it first. Everybody's got to eat, but somebody has to be at the head of the table, and that's Rashee Rice. And I really think, for me, that's the thing that slides the entire offense into place. This was what they wanted at the beginning of last season. Training camp a year and a few months ago was about getting Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and then rookie Xavier Worthy all together on the field at the same time, or even that they weren't on the field at the same time a lot against the Raiders. It was a small handful of plays. But what that means is that you can have Hollywood and Xavier Worthy leave the field and have Tyquan Thornton and Juju Smith-Schuster come on. I mean, there is just a relentlessness to the depth of that receiving room right now where I think this is all exactly how you want it to be. I'm just noting it because this is not common. If everybody there is okay with having a day that they only catch 1 or 2 passes, knowing that next week they might be the guy that's getting 5 or 6, this is going to be an offense that really can feed all those mouths. You need everybody to be unselfish in the way that I think they are wired to be. With Travis Kelce kind of at the top of that, it's funny for him to have a stat line that he did of 3 catches for 54 yards with a 44-yarder. But Travis Kelce, the times we see him blow up on the sidelines, it tends to be when the offense isn't working. If things are working, if the ball is moving, everyone has to be happy with that. Patrick Mahomes most of all.
Right now, we're talking to Joshua Briscoe of the Chiefs Radio Network, getting his thoughts on the beatdown against the Las Vegas Raiders. How do you think Rashee Rice looked in here? It's funny because he wasn't really on the field a lot, but obviously made a really big impact. And I was really big on, I didn't care how he played in this first game back. To me, right now, it's about ramping up to get him ready for the Buffalo game. Hard to say that the Chiefs didn't do that on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have the exact stat. I think he ended up running something like 15 routes, somewhere around there. I heard Nate Taylor say that here on 96.5 earlier today. I can't remember what the exact number was, but it was right around there. And he had 10 targets. So I think the concerted effort to just get him back into the flow of things was exactly what they did there. And I don't think they did anything particularly weird, anything particularly interesting. The second touchdown was interesting because that's just not a way we've seen Rashee Rice get used that much. I think we've seen a little bit against the Raiders. A little bit of him lining up as the X receiver, which is a role that this team hasn't had a true X in the mix for really the vast majority of Patrick Mahomes' time here, because you think about the skill sets of some of the guys they've leaned on. Travis Kelce has been their best X receiver, but not last year, not this year necessarily. So all that to say, I think we saw a glimpse of like one more way you can expand on Rashee Rice's game and let him do a little bit more of what you even saw from his college scouting report, of some more of those kind of back shoulder fade type of things. But he's just so good in short intermediate range with the ball in his hands, with the yards after the catch, that's going to be an easy button that this offense can find. And that to me is my biggest takeaway. Throughout the first 6 games of this season, there were a number of times you went, man, they're moving the ball like they did last year, but especially last year, nothing was ever easy. Can you find an easy button for Patrick Mahomes? And I think Rashee Rice is that guy.
Yeah, the thing that I guess really stood out to me is I don't think the Chiefs have really had that knockout punch the last couple of years. Like, I don't really think that their offense was one where, let's say the offense got up 7 points. They then punt the ball back to the defense. The defense then gets off the field. All right, now it's back on you. If you score here, you go up 2 possessions, and you can really put this game out of reach. I don't think the Chiefs offense could do that last year, and I think that's a major reason of why they played in so many close one-score games. I think they got a real heavyweight punch now where when you're going up against Kansas City, you got to try to score 30 or more points to be able to keep up with this offense.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that what we saw last year was largely, and really last year and through the start of this season, was largely reflective of how thin the margins were and how thin the margins are in the NFL when you don't have big plays. When you're always Kareem hunting your way to 3 or 4 yards a carry and just trying to make an efficient, successful offense, but not an explosive one, you are going to have those drives where you go, okay, well, we just went 12 plays for 80 yards and a touchdown, but now we're struggling to get to the sticks because we just can't find either that aforementioned easy button or one of those 3-yard runs is a loss instead, and now it's 2nd and 11. Well, now it's 3rd and 8, and now you're punting the ball back. So I think, to your point about like the boxing metaphor, I think now the fun thing is that they have really maybe 2 reasonable knockout punches in Xavier Worthy and Tyquan Thornton. If you're thinking about big plays downfield, those 60-yard erasers that you can just put a defense into hell with. But now they also have an unbelievable option in terms of body blows with Rashee Rice. I think that's what he is, where it's just going to be he averaged 6 yards per catch. That's exactly what it is. It's 6 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards. You want to get your explosive plays from him when you can, and he can give you those. But they have explosives that you have to respect with the deep shots, and now over the middle, they have so many ways. Juju Smith-Schuster deserves more credit than he's gotten this year. Travis Kelce looks better than he did last year, and still, Rashee Rice is obviously the number 1 option in that range.
I want to get your thoughts on this. So we saw the report that the Chiefs are thinking more about adding a defensive lineman than adding a running back. What side would you be on? Because this was my argument. If the Chiefs are thinking about spending a 5th or a 6th round pick for a defensive lineman, I just don't think that player moves the needle. It sounds good, but you add Joshua Uche. We saw last year that player doesn't get on the field. That guy doesn't have a major contribution, and you're in the exact same spot that you're in where if you're willing to spend a little bit of money on running back, you can improve the running back room. I know the run game hasn't been the glaring negative that it's been, but if you were looking at the first 7 weeks of the season, they are averaging 3.8 yards per carry with their running backs when they decide to run the football. That is by far and away one of the biggest weaknesses that they have on their team. So my thought process is take that 5th-round pick, spin it on a running back that can really make a difference for you down the stretch and can then give you the best offense in the National Football League. What side of the argument are you on? You want them to spend that on the D-line or spend it at running back?
I think your logic there, and especially the kind of gun-shy nature of getting a D lineman into Spags' defense, I think that is very, very fair and very reasonable. I still land on the defensive line side, especially now with Omar Norman-Lott being done for the year. Right now, they just don't have enough guys. Like, I guess Marlon Tuipulotu is probably the next man up to get into that rotation. They have 2 former third-round picks on the practice squad right now, both guys from 2023. Not long ago third-round picks, but guys who flamed out with the Bears and the Lions and Zach Pickens and Broderick Martin. Those aren't solutions here. This is a team that never should have let go of Mike Pennell, and now especially you're going, man, I'd like to see him on this team. The one name, and this is not, you talk about moving the needle. I'm with you here. But Colin Saunders was in this defense. Spags knows him. He knows Spags. He can fill some of that space. But again, you talk about moving the needle. Colin Saunders has played 1 game for the Jags this year, and he was acquired by the Jags right before the start of this season. So needle moving is still, that's not costing you a 5th-round pick, to your point. I don't know if there is a defensive lineman out there who can move the needle for you in that intermediate. I'm interested in what's going on with Christian Wilkins. I don't trust the Raiders side of that story implicitly, but we also haven't heard anything about him, so I'm not holding my breath on that in any way whatsoever. I just think he's an interesting, bigger swing you could potentially take. But ultimately, I've felt this way for a few weeks, and I think the last few weeks have pointed this direction too. I think they're going to give Isaiah Pacheco a bunch of carries when they need to hand the ball off to somebody. They're doing a little more under center, and he's looked good in those under center plays. I don't know if they're going to start getting more into a play action out of that or just leave it as it is ratio-wise right now. I think they think Kareem Hunt in short yardage is useful, and Brashard Smith in the offense is useful. I don't know that he's a running back in the traditional sense, even though he ended up getting all those fourth-quarter carries on Sunday. So I hear you. And if there was a running back on the market that they could add for a 5th rounder that would move the needle and potentially be a guy that's not just going to be here this year, but somebody who you could build around a little bit that you think is a legitimate fit, because you're not doing this with Kareem Hunt again next year, I imagine. Maybe they will. I don't know. I'm open for business on the running back front too. I just think right now the defensive line group altogether and the defensive tackle group in particular is the thinnest spot on the roster, even thinner than running back.
To me, Christian Wilkins sounds a lot like football version of Trevor Bauer. Like, I feel like every fan base is like, let's go get Trevor Bauer. I just typed this up. There's been 1 story written about Christian Wilkins since July 28th. Think about that. Like, no one is talking about Christian Wilkins. Now, I don't know all the details. I don't know all the backstory. I wasn't there. But it doesn't seem like there's any interest in Christian Wilkins, not just from Kansas City, but nobody in the National Football League.
His agent isn't putting the reports out there that he's healthy and ready to go and that everybody's clear on him. No, that is very, very good. Again, I don't want to say his name and then just have Chiefs fans going, oh, okay, well, that's going to be the guy, right? That's how they do this. Because, right, I'll say with Christian Wilkins is if I found out that the Chiefs said, hey, we've signed Christian Wilkins, I go, oh, that's awesome, because that means that Steve Spagnuolo has talked to Antonio Pierce. That means that Brett Veach has talked to Christian Wilkins. That means the T's have been crossed, the I's have been dotted. I don't know if it was weird stuff in Vegas, and I don't know whose side of the story is what. I don't trust that the Raiders had a functional locker room that is going to erase a player's future, but also nobody seems to be sniffing around there. And again, he's been dealing with the injury as well, and maybe he's still trying to get some of that money from the Raiders. So no, I don't think that's very feasible. It's just the one higher end name that is like in the picture, but to your point, it's barely in the picture. Certainly not holding my breath there. I think there's a good chance that Colin Saunders ends up on this team. I think there's a very small chance that Wilkins does. I just think you have to include him in that conversation a little bit.
What I love most about the Chiefs is it's like they only know the names for like 75 players in the league. Whenever they need something, it's like, hey, who's played on the team before? Derek Nottie, let's go get him. Hey, we have a need again. Colin Saunders, let's go get him. Like, they have the phone number for just 75 guys in the league.
I think it's the consequence of having coaches who have so much influence over who plays and what their scheme is. Like Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo are both so set in what they believe in and how their units run and all of that. Those are all great things. Those are all through and through positive things. But I do think it shrinks, and it's infuriating to watch Joshua Uche go like find his groove again in Philadelphia this year. Like, wait a second, this dude was around. What happened here? Why make that trade and then never have him on the field? That's kind of my theory. Is, hey, we'll take the known quantity, because also we're relying on the coaching staff that way, right? So. It is like mimetic at this point. It's kind of a bit to go, oh, okay, well, Colin Saunders hasn't really played for the Jags this year. He'll be back. He was tweeting about burnt ends yesterday. He was tweeting with Mitchell Schwartz about burnt ends yesterday. He's a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. That one just feels like, I don't know anything. No one's told me jack or squat. That one just seems like it makes all the sense in the world, considering that they're not going to get to lean on Omar at all the rest of the year.
Right now, we're talking to Joshua Briscoe here for a couple more minutes. I feel like these are two of the bigger questions right now in the National Football League. Question number one, are you a believer in the Indianapolis Colts?
I'm agnostic. That's what I am. I had to think about it. I'm not against the existence of the Indianapolis Colts. I am not an evangelical Colts believer. I'm relatively agnostic. I'm happy for the people who are enjoying this Colts run. I do not think Colts fans need to be puffing up their chest too much. I think that they are among the best of the middle class of the NFL right now, which includes like 20 teams.
Josh, I'll ask you that same question about the Broncos. Are you a believer in the Denver Broncos?
No. No, I'm not. That one's easier for me. And honestly, it might just be because I've watched more Denver Broncos football than I've watched with the Colts. The Colts, I'm seeing some of the process and I'm seeing the results. Dude, I have been a New York football fan these last 2 weeks on a temporary basis with the Jets and the Broncos overseas and the Giants-Broncos game. And I understand why Jets and Giants fans are the way they are. It's miserable. I feel like a less sane person having rooted for the Jets and Giants in consecutive weeks just to beat the Broncos. No, the Broncos defense is good. They're a team that's going to win games. They deserve credit for beating bad teams, even if they have to do it at the last second. The Chiefs got credit for that last year in my book. Like, the wins and losses still matter. Your standings still matter. I am not betting on Bo Nix in January. I will not do it.
I'm looking at this Broncos schedule, and funny enough, I actually think the Broncos play in maybe the most interesting game this week in the National Football League. It's Cowboys and Broncos. That's a 3:25 game on CBS. Next week, they go on the road and they play Houston. They play Vegas on Thursday Night Football at home, and then they play Kansas City. I think we're looking at a Broncos team that could potentially be 8-2, 7-3 with the home game against Kansas City, which, it's a divisional game. We always knew it was going to be important. It might end up being the most important game of the season for Kansas City.
Yeah, and looking down the schedule like that is fascinating, because I'm with you. I am not a Super Bowl believer in the Broncos, and I think they're probably going to be a playoff team. So I guess that's how I'm going to split the hairs after taking such a hardline stance. I do not believe in their ceiling, but I do believe in their floor, especially if they do get to beat up on the Texans and Raiders. You're right about the Cowboys game. An offense that's just firing on all cylinders, and a Broncos defense that should be pretty good, but quietly gave up 30-plus points to the Giants last week and needed the bailout of making it work at the end there. So that is a fascinating game. I don't know what the line is. I'm going to look right now. Wouldn't surprise me a bit if the Cowboys won that game. 3.5-point dogs right now, it looks like, on the road for the Cowboys. I'm interested in that. I said last week, I think the Broncos and Chiefs were the two largest favorites last week going into the weekend, and I'd said that I would take the points in both of those games. Obviously, the Chiefs covered by a mile, and the Broncos almost lost that game and won by a point. I do not believe in the process being a champion or even an AFC championship game participant from Denver. I do think they probably end up with a wild card spot because they're going to hang on against some of these teams, and the playoffs have to be filled by somebody.
Are you going to be anybody for Halloween this year?
Yeah, absolutely. This is crazy, though. We're 10 days out. I don't know what yet. Renee has not given me the final word. We usually incorporate the dogs on some levels. So my wife, Renee, is a huge Halloween person. The house will be decorated and all of that. So we will be celebrating the season. But I do not know what my costume is yet. I better know this time next week.
Are you a scary movie guy?
I'm not. I have a few that I've enjoyed. I thought both of the It movies were really good, but I don't play scary video games, and I don't really watch scary movies. That slasher stuff never really appealed to me. I don't know why.
That is our guy, Joshua Briscoe, joining us on the show today. He is not a fan of Scream or Final Destination. That's what we learned today in his appearance. I appreciate you, Briscoe.
I will dress up. I'll eat candy. I'll hand out candy. I don't want to watch any scary movie. I'm thinking about it now, Carrington. I'm saying it out loud. It doesn't make any sense. I don't add up. I get
it. That is Joshua Briscoe joining us on the show today. I was downstairs, and our guy Cam from the sales staff, he came up to me and was like, "You like haunted houses?" I looked at him first like he was cursing. I was like, "No, why would you even ask me something like that?" He's like, "Oh, well, man, I can get you passes to the Beast. You want to go to the Beast?" No, I don't have any interest in going to the Beast. This is what I've never understood. I don't understand paying to be scared. I don't understand it. Now, I understand, like, you might be arguing, well, what about a scary movie? But I find those to be, like, entertaining. It's a story attached to it. You know, in Saw and Scream, there's a story. Final Destination, there's a story. You're telling me I got to sign a waiver to walk through this house, and the sole purpose of the house is to have things jump out and try to scare me? No, thanks. Y'all got it. I never been to the Beast, Edge of Hell, none of those down there. I want absolutely nothing to do with it. Rob, have you been to one of these places?
I've been once, not for me. I did it. I wanted to say I did it, but I'm never going back.
This guy, he just said, "Hey, let me get those Beast passes. My kiddos will love it." The first 3 digits of his phone number is 666. Hey, stay away from me, man. I gotta stay away from you. No, I'm not letting you go to the Beast and take your kids. Get a new phone number and maybe I'll consider it. The Beast? No, I'm not going down there. I'm not having no interest. None. Why would I pay to be scared? I don't want to go. I have no interest in going down there. I don't even know where it is. You go to those places?
Only been once. Oh, it's near your house. You can get over there pretty quick. Okay. Right. Well, hop, skip, and a jump.
Don't make any sense to me that you would go. Makes none. They're not scary. Any place that's making you sign a work number, then no, I don't. I gotta sign a waiver to walk through this place? None. Don't have any interest.
I think one of them just got sued recently, too, because someone got hurt in it.
Yeah, I saw they, like, broke both their ankles.
Yeah, something like that.
What activity would I need to do to break my ankles? Why am I participating in this activity?
One of them, and I don't know which one. I'm not the haunted house guy. One of them at the end, you, like, jump out a window. And you land on, like, one of those,
What did you just say?
I think it might be the Beast. You jump out of a window.
You jump out of a window?
Yeah. So now we've combined heights and scary.
Okay.
So now you're all in.
All right. Okay. There's a joke in my head, but you know what? I'm going to keep this joke to myself because that's crazy. Absolutely crazy to me. Crazy to me if that's what you're doing. You jump out of a window? That's the end? That's the end of the attraction? Okay. All right. Let's move on. I have a football thought next. I'll share it with you as the drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Well, summer is winding down, and maybe you notice something. You're a little more tired than usual. Your workouts, they're just not giving you that same result. You're not sleeping well. You're foggy. Your sex drive basically gone at this point. Well, here's the truth. It might not just be stress or getting older. It could be low testosterone. And if it is, there's a positive. Heartland Men's Health can help you. They have helped hundreds of men right here in the Kansas City area feel like themselves again with increased energy, better thinking, better sleep, stronger workouts, and your sex drive. It's back. Getting tested is fast and easy. Take the 2-minute low T quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com and schedule a $99 consult, which includes lab work, a full medical review, and a plan that works for you. And you start treatment that day. And if it doesn't work, then your visit is on the house. Don't wait another year. Don't wait another month. Don't wait another day. Let's get back to you feeling like you. Pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. Heartland Men's Health. Real results, real men, real fast.
Kansas City, it's time to turn up the heat. The Westport Sunfresh is back and better than ever. Now proudly part of the Cosentino Food Stores family. We're celebrating with a re-grand opening you won't want to miss. That means 3 full weeks of hot savings on the freshest produce, premium meats, and all your grocery favorites. Come experience the new and improved Westport Sunfresh, your neighborhood store, now with even more local love. Located in the heart of Westport, only at Cosentino's Westport Sunfresh.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right, with the no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapor Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapor Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This has been brought to you by Boost and Barbecue. Big problems down south. 49 northbound closed because of the crash involving a semi just at North Cass Parkway, Belton area. 49 southbound, there's a crash at 163rd. 2 right lanes are blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Text line 913-586-7965. I was asking Rob if he is somebody that likes to go to haunted houses, and he told me he has been to one before. I have absolutely no interest in going to one. Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, I love your show. I listen every day. But, dude, you got to give me your man card. You won't ride roller coasters. You won't bungee jump. You won't go to a haunted house. Life is meant to live. I would go to 18th and Vine after 10 o'clock. I don't know if some of you would do that activity. I don't know if that's an activity that some of you would participate in. I also went to Jay's Chicken to eat a couple of days ago at 9:30. Again, I don't know if that's an activity that some of you guys will participate in. We all seek thrills in very different ways. I don't have any interest in bungee jumping. Not afraid to go downtown at night either. So that's what I'm saying. See what I mean? We all pick our adventurous ways. I know. You're telling me this plane works perfectly fine? You want me to jump out of it? No, I'm okay. Y'all got it. That's y'all activity. I don't want it. I don't want to do it. I don't have any interest in participating in those activities. Y'all got it. You got it. Rob, would you go bungee jumping?
I've done a ripcord. Does that count?
You didn't say no fast enough for me.
So I've done the ripcord at Worlds of Fun. Does that count?
I mean, if you want it to count, would you jump out of a plane?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I didn't know.
Unless it's like the plane's going down.
Well, that's different. It's a life or death situation. Of course, I'm jumping out of this thing too. But I'm jumping out of this plane as well.
I would never get into an airplane with the thought of, what I hope to do when I get up top? Jump out.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Now, roller coasters, I'll do. You're strapped in. I'm fine with that. But
I don't know. My issues with roller coasters, I can't end this experience when I want to. Like, once you're on there, you're on there. No, I'm okay.
Yeah,
this thing goes upside down. Wait, we got to go up this big thing? No, what if I change my mind? Like, no, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't.
It's 2 minutes.
It's okay.
It's 90s. The Mamba takes 90 seconds to get to the top, and then another 90 seconds to be done.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of people right now that could know how quickly your life could change in 2 minutes. So I don't know if that's not a good indicator to me that there's no danger, that there's no fear. Things can change really quickly for you in 2 minutes. For some people, even faster than that, unfortunately. Let me play this audio for you. This is Nick Wright.
We scored 31, had 30 first downs, and the Raiders ran 30 plays. Yeah, they were taking knees on the plus side of the 2-minute warning, which I've never seen. Mahomes in a baseball cap in the third quarter. And if you check your local favorite sports book, be it DraftKings or whomever, you know what you'll see? Favorites in everything. Drop the first banner. Are they really? Yeah. Favorites for the AFC West, for the AFC, for the Super Bowl, and to have league MVP. And we didn't put it on there. We ran out of space. Favorite for Super Bowl MVP. Everything you be a favorite in, they're a favorite in. And, I mean, Wilds, you did kind of steal a little bit of my thunder, but who could have seen this coming? And the answer is anyone that saw the tackle that turned the tide.
That was Nick Wright talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. It is one of those things that we love to make movie analogies on this show. And for those of you that have seen the movie Zombieland, the theme on Zombieland is you never have to assume that the zombie is dead. If you think the zombie is dead, you got to shoot the zombie twice. You got to double tap because the zombie can't come back. The rest of the NFL, they kind of had the Chiefs up against the ropes. I know now that you guys are big and confident. You got your swagger back, and I love that you have your swagger back. But I was here those first 2 weeks of the season, and you were a little stressed. You were a little stressed heading into that Giants game, heading into that Ravens game. Some of you never got stressed. Some of you real worried. The league had an advantage over Kansas City. The Chargers had an advantage over Kansas City. I feel like this has been a theme over the last couple of years. How did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl a couple of years ago when they had all of those injuries and they basically had two good offensive players? How did they win the Super Bowl that year? How'd you let them win there? How was that one of the ones you let them cash in? When you had a chance to keep the Chiefs down, think about it. I don't know if people listening, it's been a while since you felt worse about the Chiefs, I guess in like a regular season sense, than halftime heading into the Giants game. You remember that, Rob? It was 6-6. The Chiefs offense was playing very poorly at that stretch. Since halftime, I don't know what happened. I heard Creed Humphrey told some story and screamed at guys, or I don't know what it was. But since halftime of the Giants game, the Chiefs have been the best team in the National Football League since that point. Up to that point, the Chiefs had played lackluster, undisciplined, bad football, and something changed in the Giants game at halftime. They have been one of the best offenses in the league since then. They have been one of the best defenses in the league since then. And if it wasn't for a pick six interception that very rarely happens with Patrick Mahomes, they'd have been undefeated since that point and by far and away everybody's best team in the National Football League. That's how quickly things can turn in this league, and they've turned really quickly for Kansas City. When you got a chance to keep them down, you got to keep them down. When you got a 3-game lead the way that the Chargers had with the head-to-head loss, you can't let Kansas City get their footing back, and now it's tied. And now the rest of the way, you're basically asking the question of who do you think wins more games between now and the end of the season, the Chiefs or the Chargers? Everybody knows the answers to this. Why would you pick the Chargers? Now, I do give the Broncos credit. The Broncos have made this a real and legitimate fight. Again, I know you guys will call me Broncos Dot, but you can't look at the Broncos schedule and tell me that you don't think they'll be in it the rest of the way. They've got a 1-game lead on Kansas City, which they haven't played them, so it doesn't really matter. You look at their 3 games before the Chiefs and Broncos play each other, Cowboys, Texans, and Raiders. We're talking about a team that could be 7-3, 8-2 heading into that matchup with the home game and extended rest. The Chiefs are in a real legitimate fight, not just in the AFC as the 1 seed, but also in the AFC West. But the Chargers, you got to be kicking yourself. The Chargers have never had the advantage they had over Kansas City in the first 3 weeks of the season, and they completely gave it all up by Halloween. They gave it up.
I love your Zombieland analogy. Double tap.
Got to
double tap because not only have the Chiefs come back, like they got to 2-2 and they were back. I felt like they were back as in like, okay, they've overcome the hole they dug themselves, but like now they're back to being the Chiefs. I've seen a lot of this in the national media talking heads that like the sentiment is, oh, they're having fun and they're being annoying and they're doing all the, goofy fun plays again. They're doing all those things that either if you're a Chiefs fan, you love, if you're not a Chiefs fan, you hate. But it feels like they got their swagger back. The Chiefs went from 0-2 to now they are the betting favorite on FanDuel to win the AFC West. They're the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl. They're betting favorite to win the AFC. Not only did you not double tap and kill them when they were 0-2, you've let them come to life and ascend to the highest of highs. Now, maybe in December or January, someone beats them and, this all looks dumb and I said they ascended, whatever. But you had them in the hole. We had pulled the stats. We did segment after segment on what 0-2 means. And not only does it not matter for the Chiefs anymore, we haven't even had daylight savings yet, and it doesn't matter because they're back to being the Chiefs again.
I think you could argue that right now, at this exact moment in life, this is the best the Chiefs have been in 4 years. I think if you were talking about offense, defense, how complete you feel that they are right now, I know you can't do this, but if you were telling me that this year's version of the Chiefs played last year's version of the Kansas City Chiefs in London, this year's Chiefs be favored over last year's team that won 15 games. If you were telling me that this year's Chiefs play the 2 years ago Chiefs that won the Super Bowl in week 8 of the regular season, this year's Chiefs would be a slight favorite over last year's. This is the best version of the Chiefs we have seen since that 2021 season when they ran circles around the rest of the league. And you and I think that's the best team that they've had during this stretch, was that one right after COVID when they brought everybody back, they ran it back, and they completely ran through the regular season. This is as good as the Chiefs have been since that moment. How did you let this happen if you were the rest of the league? How did you let this happen? And now they're about to use all of those things. Now you've let them stockpile weapons. You've let them get healthy. You let them get right. You let them get a left tackle. We're not even talking about the left tackle that people were considering Trent Williams a month or so ago. He's not even on the team right now. How did you let this happen if you're the rest of the league? You had your opportunity the first 6 weeks of the season to create separation. Only 2 teams in the league have really taken advantage of it. The Broncos and the Colts. Nobody else. The Bills didn't take advantage of it. The Chargers didn't take advantage of it. Pittsburgh didn't take advantage of it. There are only 2 teams in the entire National Football League that took advantage of the Chiefs. They were trying to figure things out the first portion of the season. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get to the top stories of the day in Kansas City. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
When it comes to buying a car, simple wins. Rob Sight Ford has the inventory, the trade values, and the non-commissioned team that puts you first. No pressure, just 4.8 stars on Google for a reason. ROBSIGHT.com.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
Boostin' Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip. Online at boostinbarbecue.com.
The fastest cars, burnouts, car show, barbecue competition, and Chris Jansen live Saturday night. Boostin' Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip in Odessa. Kids 12 and under free. Tickets at boostandbarbecue.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This has been brought to you by Boostin' Barbecue. Big problems down south. 49 northbound closed because of the crash involving a semi just at North Cass Parkway, Belton area. 49 southbound. There's a crash at 163rd. 2 right lanes are blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's talk about this for just a bit. I think both of these things are true statements. I don't even think they're opinions, honestly, at this point. Point number one, the Chiefs playing as well as they've played and winning the way that they've played is the best possible thing for Josh Simmons. The best possible thing. Andy pretty quickly said, we don't have an update. You and I talk about it. People move on from stories. You guys have beat it into the ground, and everybody is in a good mood right now. They're 10.5-point favorites this week against the Commanders. Them playing as well as they've played and offensive line not being an issue has allowed Josh Simmons to be gone and still a cloud of mystery around why he is not here. Now, no one else has to have this opinion. I will be the only one to have this opinion. That's fine. If Joshua Simmons is not back on Thursday when they go to practice, I would not play him until after the bye week. That's the earliest I would consider playing Joshua Simmons if he is not back to work on Thursday. They are off today. They're off tomorrow because of Monday Night Football. They'll be back on Thursday. Mahomes will be on Thursday. That's their first practice. Their schedule is completely moved. Thursday, if he's not back, so he's not going to play for Monday Night Football on a short week, I don't know how you throw him out there against Buffalo. They got a bye week afterwards, and then we can evaluate where you are. Now, let's see how I feel after that point. They play the Broncos after that. That's a really, really important game for the Chiefs that I think you would say is probably a must-win. It'd be a really, really good game to have, where I don't know if you want to be possibly 2 or 3 games back of the Broncos. Puts a whole lot of pressure on the second half of the season. So that's where I am heading into it. We don't got to spend all day talking about it, but it is still a major question around the Kansas City Chiefs. On the flip side, I guess on the first side of it, them playing as well as they played has just made it a non-story. I don't think you guys want to hear about it. I don't think you guys want to talk about it. There's no update. We're all just kind of waiting to see what the information is. But that's going to be my official stance. If he is not back on Thursday, ready to practice, ready to play, or at least practicing and around the team and ready to go, I just don't know how you can move forward with him for the next 10 days, as these are very, very important games for the Chiefs.
Maybe we're saying the same thing. We're just saying it differently. If he's not at practice on Thursday, they need to put him on the NFI list. Because I believe that operates the same way that the IR does. He basically, you're locking in, he's missing 4 games, which would be then the 2 games remaining before the bye, and then you can reassess at the end of the bye. Like that, that's going to be a real conversation on Thursday. I imagine this show will talk about it. I imagine Cody, I imagine Gold, I imagine
you and I were having this conversation earlier about when he's going to potentially play. Like, I would say this. I don't care about why he's not gone. I really don't care about why he's not gone.
Doesn't matter to me.
If it's family related, whatever it is. Like, now we're talking about the football player and what it means for your team. I mean, their next 4 games are super important. They have Washington coming up. Again, if he's not here on Thursday, I don't think you can say that he's playing in Monday Night Football. Like, you haven't been practicing, you haven't been around the team, we haven't been monitoring you, we don't know anything what's going on. After the Washington game, I think you can argue they're the 3 most important games of the season. On the road against Buffalo, on the road against Denver, home against Indianapolis. So Buffalo, a team right now that has slightly better odds than you to be the 1 seed. Denver, your biggest competition in the division, and the Indianapolis Colts, right now the favorite to be the 1 seed when talking about it. You don't really have a game that you think you could potentially ease him into. It's not like they play the Titans coming up in a couple of weeks. Hey, put him in the Titans. Hey, you practice, you play. We'll get you ramped up. Like, their ramp-up period is kind of over at this point. They don't really have another one of those games until early December where they play Houston. Houston's just a bad football team, but they don't really have a lot of those easy portions of the schedule or a light week or one of those. Like, that's kind of done now at this point. So I want to know who's here. I want to know who's not here, and how do we plan moving forward? And I think right now the plan just has to be Joshua Simmons is not their left tackle until proven otherwise. Jalen Moore is their left tackle right now.
And that's why I said, and maybe it's I don't know all the roster rules. Brett Veach obviously knows them. He's working on this based on everything Andy Reid has said. He keeps saying Veach is working on that. Maybe NFI, there is no hard time like there is IR. Maybe you put him in the IR. I don't know what you're going to do, but I agree with you. If he misses the Commanders game, which at this point, if I were a betting man, I'd bet he's not playing in the Commanders game. Like, I feel like, right or wrong, the NFL media, the Rappaports, the Schefters, the Peliceros, that group, if he was coming back to practice or come back to facility today or tomorrow, one of that group would have it by now.
I agree.
I don't think he's back or coming back, which means he's not going to practice on Thursday.
I also don't think that Andy has the statement that he has at the beginning of the week if they are in communication and knows that he's coming back in 2 days.
I agree.
Like, if you were telling me that they knew, and now things change, right? Like, things could have changed between now and when they do that. But that was the first question that Andy was asked in his press conference. Hey, what's the latest on Josh Simmons? We don't have an update. We don't want to talk about it. I don't think you have that message if you know that he's showing up 2 days from later and he's going to start practicing and the plan is to ramp him up and get him ready for either Monday Night Football or against Buffalo. That's all I care about at this point is how do they get ready for Buffalo? That's all I care about at this point. They got their 3 most important games coming up in 11 days. Buffalo, Denver, Indianapolis. 3 teams that if you go 3-0 in that stretch, you likely win your division because you stole the road game away from the Broncos. You, I would say in some ways, potentially eliminate Buffalo from being the 1 seed, and they're in a fight of their own right now with the New England Patriots for their division. And you can kill any momentum with the Indianapolis Colts and win the tiebreaker. Like, these are 3 really, really important games to have. So having your offensive line in place, knowing who you're going to be going out on the field with is just a really, really important thing right now with this team. So I have no clue when he's going to be back. I don't know if he is coming back, not coming back, none of that. But that is going to be my official stance. If he is not back by Thursday and practicing and around the team and running drills with the team and being back, just being one of the guys, being around your brothers, being around your coaches, watching film with everybody, if that's not the plan on Thursday, we're going to put you on the non-football injury list. We're going to give you all the time. Stay where you are. Come back. We'll continue to work on this thing, and let's figure out how we get you back onto the football field. But I just don't know if you can roll the dice, not with the games that the Chiefs have coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about the Chiefs. They are interested in making a move. Are they going to make it on the D-line or in the running back room? We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Kansas City Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. This Thursday, October 23rd at J. Rieger & Company Distillery. We've still got the problem down south. 49 both directions are closed, south and northbound just past Cass Parkway because of the wreck with the semi downtown KC. That's a stall 35 southbound before 12th. It is, at least, in the clearing stages. Discover the latest HVAC plumbing and trade solutions with companies like A.O. Smith and 20-plus other vendors at the KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase this Thursday, October 23rd, 3 to 6 at J. Rieger & Company Distillery. Enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prizes, and networking. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with 0 down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. Just 0 down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's game day, and nothing says Chiefs football like the aroma of a tailgate grill. Kick off your pregame party with a Kingdom Meat Bundle from Hy-Vee. Get 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 pork chops, 4 bratwurst, and 4 chuck patties for just $30. Plus, get a 10-cent per gallon fuel saver. Toss in some chips and dip, side dishes, and Chiefs-themed baked goods. Score the extra point with your favorite tailgate beverage from Hy-Vee Wine and Spirit. Just one stop for all your game day needs, only at Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold. You guys know we've been telling you about our friends over at Centric and how in just as little as 4 months you could find a brand new career in IT.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and cybersecurity threats are increasing every year. You could have a new career working in that field. Don't just take it from us. Listen to Carney.
I'm Carney, a U.S. Army veteran and now an Enterprise Service Desk Technician. Using my GI Bill here wasn't just about training for a civilian career. It was about joining a community that supports veterans.
So go to Centric.com to learn more or schedule a meeting with our buddy Russ.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Numerous brands to choose from. Endless options. One incredible experience. At Aristocrat Motors, we treat every driver like royalty and offer the finest luxury vehicle experience in Kansas City. Come see us today and let us roll out the red carpet for you.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this. Mike's got this.
816-888-7500.
Mike's got this.
Listen to the Chiefs and Commanders on Monday night with pregame starting at 4, kickoff at 7:15 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here. Rob Brenton here as well, taking you up until 6 o'clock. Rob, let me ask you this question very quickly. We don't have to take too much time. It is just on my heart because we just got an email. Now, I don't think we've ever had one of these at work, and this seems like something that's very popular at other people's jobs. Is there any chance that the Halloween potluck goes off well at work? So right now, to let you guys in on it, this is what we're doing at our job. There are 3 different groups you can sign up for. You could sign up for cold foods, you could sign up for hot foods, or you could sign up for sweets. Now, the sweets is full, completely full. Everybody is already signed up to bring the sweet because how hard is that? Bring a bag of popcorn, bring some cookies, bring some candy apples, whatever you want to do. Everybody is signed up to bring something sweet. No one has signed up to bring any hot food, and one person is signed up to bring sandwiches. Is there any chance that this is a successful potluck?
It really depends on your term for success. I think there's going to be plenty of sweets, and people love sweets. And there's going to be some appetizers, and people enjoy appetizers. I don't think I would consider what's going to happen here a full meal, but I think there'll be food available, which isn't that the goal of a potluck? So in that regard, success.
You say food available. I don't know if just having food available is the goal for me. You know where they got food available? Chick-fil-A.
I mean,
it's right around the corner.
On a letter grade, it won't fail, but I don't know it's getting an A.
Okay.
It's a C's and D's get degrees type of energy.
What are you bringing? You bringing anything to the work potluck?
Absolutely not.
Okay. See, that's what I mean. Somebody's got to be willing to contribute to the potluck. Somebody's got to be willing to contribute. I mean, it's just honestly, I don't like anything that will make me look at the people I work with a little bit differently. You know, everybody just stay in their own lane. I try to come to work. I try to keep my head down. I try to do what I'm supposed to do. I don't try to cause any problems, and I try to go home. I try to make sure that Rob and I are always good and taken care of, and I don't try to bother anybody else. But I don't want to now look at Cindy from downstairs. Cindy made the chili. She really wants me to try the chili. The chili's terrible, and now I got to look at Cindy a little bit differently. I didn't want to sign up for this activity.
I will say that's a very glass half empty view. What if Sally from downstairs has food and you're like, all right, I guess I'll try it. And you're like, yo, this is incredible. Doesn't it work as a positive to see that person differently?
She seen anybody? That would be my question. That would be my question. I'm serious. Hey, is she seeing anybody? Cindy, I see you ain't got a ring on your hand here. You available? Hey, can you make some of these little pigs in a blanket for me? Somebody said Nancy in accounting makes a mean pot sticker. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know what? I will sign up. I'll do napkins.
Okay, all right. You're bringing the paper
You're welcome,
plates.
Odyssey.
Okay, all right. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I was curious. I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, we have a lot to get into in the 5 o'clock hour. Again, I appreciate you guys listening. Why don't we do this? Rob, why don't you hit the button? Let's shout out Baker University, friends of the show, great friends of the show. And then we'll argue about, I want a running back and you want them to go get a defensive lineman.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington, as you mentioned, the hits are brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas, and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
Sometimes I would say that the text line gaslights me a little bit. And this is what I mean. We talk about how much we want to give Patrick Mahomes support and how it's so important that the Chiefs have this generational franchise quarterback, and they should be interested in doing everything they can to support Patrick Mahomes. But anytime I suggest, hey, well, maybe they can do that by just running the football more effectively. It's like, oh, I get met with such opposition. Now, I'm not trying to belittle the win that they just had in any capacity. It's as dominant of a home win that you could possibly have. But I am now ready to move on and look forward. The Chiefs are maybe the best team, and they beat one of the 5 worst teams in the National Football League, and they beat them to a pulp. I'm ready to move on. We are exactly 2 weeks away from the NFL trade deadline, 2 weeks away. And there is a report right now that the Chiefs are favoring making a trade on the defensive line more than they are when it comes to running back. Now, I'm only going to give you one stat. Between Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and Brashard Smith, the Chiefs are currently averaging 3.8 yards per carry. Now, I don't think that that's very good. And as the schedule is about to ramp up again, and we just mentioned the stretch, they play Buffalo, Denver, and Indianapolis in a 3-week stretch. I want the Chiefs to be fully prepared for those games. You only have a limited amount of resources. I don't think the Chiefs are going out there and spending a second-round pick on anybody, nor do I think that they should. I think the Chiefs are probably in the same ballpark that they were last year. Whether it's what they traded to go get DeAndre Hopkins or what they traded to go get Joshua Uche. Somewhere between a 4th and a 6th round pick to go acquire somebody. Now, we've done this before. What are you getting for a 6th round pick at D-line? I'm assuming somebody that's not really going to help. That's what I'm going to guess. Now, if you're telling me that they can go get Calais Campbell, 39 years old, he signed a 1-year, $5 million deal. Now, the Arizona Cardinals are, shockingly enough, the Arizona Cardinals, and now he could potentially be available. I'd be interested. I would ask the question, why did you not think about this in the very, very beginning of the season when he was a free agent? You could have got him for next to nothing. Like, some of these things, I think we can be a little bit critical of the Chiefs on. Why didn't you plan ahead when it comes to some of these things? Like, you could have always went out there and got the veteran rotational defensive lineman that you wanted. So I don't like, Rob, when you say, well, let's go get a Mike Pennell type. Mike Pennell was on the roster. We all thought he was going to make the team. If you and I made a 53-man roster, Mike Pennell would have been on the team. Now we want the Chiefs to go trade for Mike Pennell? That doesn't seem like a good use of their funds. You should have just kept him on the roster from the very, very beginning. Now, I understand that now you lost Norman Lott, and now you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. But some of this is, what about Ashton Gelati? A guy you spent a decent draft pick on, and him developing over the second half of the season and being a player that you think can help. I think there's 2 areas that the Chiefs could potentially make a trade. I don't really see anywhere else. I think the Chiefs are pretty set for the most part. I also think the Chiefs are going to make some kind of move. I think they're going to make a move on one of these 2 spots. I think they either make a move on the defensive line or they make a move at running back. I don't want them to think that they're good at running back because none of the numbers would suggest that they're good at running back. The numbers would suggest that they have the exact same problem at running back that they have had this entire season that they haven't really upgraded on. Maybe you think the plan is giving Brashard Smith more carries. Maybe that might be the play in the second half of the season. But if I got to stand alone on this, I will stand alone on this. They're averaging 3.8 yards per carry, and we are at the middle point of the season, and Patrick Mahomes is still their leading rusher. He is their most explosive running back in their offense. That's not the best thing for their offense. Their offense works. But the best thing is not for Patrick Mahomes to be where big plays are generated from the running game. So I will continue to maintain until we can't advocate for it anymore. I want the Chiefs to go add a running back. It sounds like you're on the other side.
First off, despite my hate of running back, if they went and added a running back and it was a cheap addition, I'm not talking about, someone in the text line says Alvin Kamara. I'm not talking about Alvin Kamara. If they make a cheap addition, I would be fine with that at running back. I just feel like the Chiefs are not in the deadline for the Chiefs is not going to feature like 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. They're not wheeling and dealing in 2 weeks. So with that knowledge, I think they're probably going to make a single move. I would much rather that be on the D-line. Now, you're right. We can have a separate Mike Pennell conversation because I think it was obvious then and it's obvious now. They made a mistake on Mike Pennell. They made a mistake letting him walk. They made a mistake bringing in Derek Nottie. That's just a miss. Like, it happens.
And really quickly, I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to add a little bit more context. I would maybe feel a little bit different about this defensive line conversation if the ideas being thrown out there were not, hey, let's trade for players that the Chiefs were willing to let walk away. Because I've only heard two names thrown out there. I've heard Mike Pennell, who was on the team in August, and they let go, where any team in the league could have claimed Mike Pennell, and he instantly got picked up. And the other one is Colin Saunders. I haven't heard a guy that you think can go get after the quarterback. If we were talking about them going to get Calais Campbell, I might have a very different conversation. But we all know the Chiefs. The Chiefs go with familiar. That's what they go with. They go with familiar. They go with what they know. So they are bringing back their version of McCole Hardman. They're bringing back their Juju Smith-Schuster. They're bringing back their Mike Pennell. If they make a move, they're going to go get a move for somebody that they really wanted in free agency and they missed on, like they did with DeAndre Hopkins, or a guy who was on the team that they were happy to let go play for somebody else.
First off, I agree that no one loves to add players that know the system more than the Chiefs. If you are anywhere near the system, they love it. But I am a proponent of picking up a body at defensive line because I just think they're short on bodies. But I don't know I have a name, but I am a proponent of adding pass rush. It is not that long ago that the Chiefs in a 2-minute drill drive against the Jags got beat because they didn't have enough pass rush. Trevor Lawrence looked the best we've ever seen because of a lack of pass rush. Early in the game against the Lions, first couple drives, the Chiefs' pass rush was lacking. We saw it when they struggled early in the season. Their pass rush was lacking. Now, it's gotten a little bit better, but that's a testament to Spags and the creativity and the blitz packages. When they rush with 4, they're not good enough. So I would be a proponent of adding a Melvin Ingram type, which the Chiefs have done in the past, a Joshua Uche type, which the Chiefs have done in the past. I think a point that you and Briscoe, check the podcast page for that interview, made about how, hey, historically, when adding on the D-line, Spags doesn't really play those guys, is totally fair. But if it's January and the Chiefs are playing the Colts, the Bills, doesn't matter the who, and it's a 3rd and long and they aren't dialing up a blitz, I'm afraid whoever back there at quarterback is going to have time to pick apart the Chiefs defense. Because right now, Karlaftis, Aminahu, Dana, Jones falls into this category. Whoever's next to Jones nowadays, Tillery, Nottie, whomever, is not doing enough to get to the passer. So if they're going to trade one player, if they're going to give up a 4th, they're going to give up a 6th, and they're going to try to get one player to change the team, I'm a proponent of changing the defense. I also think, for the running back point, A, I hate running backs. B, they've already thrown numbers at that. Does throwing a 5th running back into the fold make them generationally better? Probably not. It just means they have another body in the room. So I'm a proponent of adding a body to a place where I think it can make more of an impact. Give me a defensive end or pass rusher at the deadline.
Text line 913-586-7965. There is a report right now that suggests that the Chiefs are more interested in defensive line than they are at running back. If you would like for the Chiefs to go out and make a move, would you like for them to make a move up front or on the offensive side of the ball? A lot of people are saying throw a name out there that you would like for the Chiefs to go get. How about Rico Dowdle? Right now, Carolina has 2 running backs. They have Hubbard, and they also have Rico Dowdle. I think Dowdle is their backup running back. He's on a 1-year, $3 million deal. I think Dowdle will be a very nice addition to what they're doing right now offensively, that I'm also assuming you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to go get him in free agency. And every argument you can make about Dowdle, that he was available in free agency, I can make that exact same argument about any defensive lineman that we think they are potentially going to add. They had a chance to have Mike Pennell. They didn't want to add him. They had a chance to have Calais Campbell on the team. They didn't want to add him on the team. Anybody that they are going to add, I'm assuming, is going to be an expiring contract kind of player. I don't think they're picking up multiple years unless it's kind of like what happened with Kadarius Toney. Failed player on his first team, still on his rookie contract. He's got a couple of years left. Maybe you overspend a little bit. It's very safe to say they overspent on Kadarius Toney, but you're willing to take a chance because of the amount of contract that's left. But if I'm guessing, I think they do what they did with DeAndre Hopkins. I think they trade for a veteran player whose contract expires at the end of the season. The other team is either willing to eat a lot of bit of money or he's not really going to make a lot of bit of money, and you'll give him a mid-round draft pick and see if he can help you.
I agree with you. It's going to be expiring contract guy. I agree with that. I'd much rather take a shot at Will McDonald. He's a former, I think, Iowa State player. I don't have his contract in front of me.
I can pull it up for you.
He's on the Jets. The Jets are open for business. That's
First, 100%.
100%. I think the Dowdle idea is good. I'm not certain the Panthers are as open for business as I know the Jets are. I think the Dolphins are probably open for business. I don't know their pass rushers off the top of my head, but I assume they have one. Will McDonald is the name I would target if I'm the Chiefs for an edge rushing guy who's, I believe, on the last year of his rookie deal. Maybe you have to give him a contract at the end. Maybe it's just an expiring deal. But
I got to pull it up right here if you want me to.
Go ahead. Tell me, what's his deal?
So he was a first-round pick back in 2023, so he actually has a fifth-year option that you could decide at the end of this year if you want to pick it up.
Kind of Kadarius Toney-ish, okay.
Yeah, so he has this year, next year, and then the club option. So it could either be a one-year deal, depending on how you want to play it, or you could pick it up and then it becomes a 2-year deal. Now, it's going to be money attached to that second part of his deal because he's a first-round player, but that's where it is. He was a first-round pick. He was the 15th overall pick back in 2023.
And I'm pulling up his stats, and I'm not saying Will McDonald is some earth-shattering, can you believe they added Jason Taylor in his prime type, but he's a year removed from a 10-sack season. Now, maybe it takes a little more premium pick. Maybe you're not getting him for a 6th. Maybe you have to give up a 4th or a 3rd, or you have to get creative somehow. But that's a name I would be way more interested in than Breece Hall, way more interested in than Alvin Kamara. Even Rico Dowdle, who's a nice player, I would much rather pick up Will McDonald, and I know the Jets are open for business. That's what I would be doing if I'm Brett Veach. I'd be calling everybody about Will McDonald for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Rob, hit number 2.
Number 2.
All right, I want to play this audio for you guys. This is from Ty Masterson, excuse me. I had Will McDonald on my mind. This is from Ty Masterson.
He's got a stadium update?
He's working on it. He is the president of the Senate in the state of Kansas. He spoke to our friends over at Fox 4 to give us an update. Here it goes.
The only site the Royals are considering is the one just south of where we are right now.
Masterson spoke to us for about 10 minutes in his hometown of Andover.
I am anticipating being presented with a proposal from the Department of Commerce and the team either at my late November or early December LCC meeting. That's what I'm expecting.
Masterson says he believes there are more Royals season ticket holders on the Kansas side than the Missouri side.
I do know a majority of the Royals fans are on our side of the fence, so it makes sense.
I'm not saying that this is true or not true, but this feels like one of those things that we've just let people say without ever really getting to see the numbers for ourselves. Again, I'm not saying that it's true or not true. I feel like we've let Fesco and people in Kansas just say this all the time, and it's not like the Royals have ever released anything where like I can see for myself if this is the case or not. That's just one thing that I've noticed. All right. I don't think the Royals are making an announcement around the holidays. I just don't think they're doing that. I would be very, very surprised if a week before Thanksgiving, the Royals are letting us know what their plans are for the stadium. And I think we know nobody releases very important news. That time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, nobody releases big news. I would be very surprised if that's the case. Now, this is just pure speculation on my part. I don't know anything about it. If I did, I promise you I would tell you guys. I'm going to guess that the Royals have an announcement next year at spring training. That's what I'm going to guess. Football season's over. You are back to thinking about the baseball team. There's no rush to make any announcement. I'm going to guess that that's when they do it. That just feels like a right time to make an announcement on this thing. I mean, we know they got to make one sooner rather than later. These stadiums will just pop up on the ground. This isn't Sim City on the PC. So you're going to have to give some kind of leeway and some kind of run time to be able to do it. That's number one. And I always say this, maybe this is just my own Missouri thinking, and I can acknowledge maybe I'm biased in this thing. I don't think the Royals want to move to Kansas. I just don't think so. I think the Chiefs are very much open to moving to Kansas. I think the Chiefs are very, very open to it. I don't think that's what the Royals have in mind. I just don't think that's what they have in mind. I think that their owner bought it with the anticipation of putting in downtown Kansas City. And it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. At least their momentum is not pushing in that direction. So I think if you're not going to have your ideal, then why wouldn't you then fully explore, which it sounds like what he is doing, is putting it 10 minutes away from where you really want it, and then you can sell the backdrop of downtown Kansas City in left field if that's what you want to sell. I just don't think they want to move to 119th and all. I also just don't think that's a great location for where the Royal Stadium is. I don't think that's a great place to put the stadium. If you're telling me that they plan on putting it across the street from Town Center, and that just doesn't get me super excited about the future of the Kansas City Royal Stadium. I mean, I'm sure they'll make it work, and I'm sure it'll be beautiful, and we'll all look back and think that we spent a lot of time about nothing. That location that doesn't get me excited at all.
Let me ask you a question. I know we're kind of closing in on a break here. Because I agree with you. I don't think John Sherman bought the team and thought to himself, one day I'm going to either move him to Clay County or I'm going to move him to 119th and all. That's my vision of baseball in Kansas City. 2 different suburbs. Do you think his vision for what the team could be has changed after the vote? Because I would have bet this is before anything and everything with the politics, all the stuff. If I had asked you in October of 2021, that's around the time these conversations started happening, hey, do you think Kansas City would be better with a downtown baseball stadium? You would have said yes, and most of the text line would have said yes. We have fast forward 4 years, and I literally saw Jackson County in Kansas City, Missouri say no to that plan. Do you think his plans and his vision has possibly changed because of the vote? Because I was here, we were doing the show. I never heard about how John Sherman loved the Battery down in Atlanta until after the vote failed. And then all of a sudden it was like, man, you know what's great? The Battery. Boy, I love the Battery. Isn't the Battery the best? Which is a big pivot from downtown. Do you think his vision for his stadium changed after Casey Moe said, no, thank you?
I think that's a very fair point, but this is where I will always defend the people of Jackson County, and I will always defend the people on Missouri side. It wasn't a good plan. I feel like now we are blaming the people in Jackson County for not saying no or saying no to a plan that we all think was haphazard, that we all think was done on the fly. And I also think, given the fact that it has taken them almost 2 years to regroup from that plan, should tell me that they didn't have their ducks in a row from the very, very beginning, right? Like they didn't have their ducks in a row from the beginning. It's not like they had a real quick pivot. Hey, we got a plan A and a plan B. If this doesn't work, we're ready to go. You can't say they had that when it came to it. Now, I do believe that was their original plan. They wanted the stadium to be in downtown Kansas City. I don't know why it wasn't the place that we always thought it was going to be. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why their plans at every single term seem to be so rushed that it was before. So that's why I'm not mad at them for taking a lot of time when it comes to this. If you only get one more shot to present this to the public, take as much time as you need to have all the information that you have. But I will always maintain, if the Kansas deal is the best deal, why haven't either of the teams just agreed to it? If the terms are not changing, it seems to me that the Royals, I think a little bit more than the Chiefs, the Royals are willing to listen to everything that Missouri has to say before they finally agree, all right, we'll go. We use the analogies about college. I don't think that's that's not their dream school. That's not their Kansas for you. That's their secondary school. That's their Washburn. Washburn, great university. I'm sure some of you went there. I don't know if that was your first choice of where to go. That's where it sounds like we're dealing with, at least when it's here. Because if it was, I don't know why you didn't take that from the very, very beginning. If you're telling me all their season ticket holders are over there, it's the best financial package, I don't think they're in love with it. Where I at least think this. I think the people of North Kansas City would be thrilled to have a professional team. I don't know if the people on 119 and all seem thrilled about it. They don't seem thrilled to me about it being over there. Where I do think they're thrilled in North Kansas City. I don't think that's a bad option for them. They have 3 options left. They have downtown Kansas City, they have North Kansas City, or 119th and all. If you're telling me one gets them completely away from Missouri, completely away from their government, gives them more money, they don't have to, all of those things, why didn't they take this deal a year ago? It's been there this entire time for them to take. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about Pro Football Focus, which feels like it is under attack. We'll talk about it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with autopay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss.
Call it in the air.
Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Conley Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. We've got still closed north and southbound 49. Down south as you approach Cass Parkway, that's in Cass County. And the crash in the Triangle 435 northbound before Gregory, it's in the right lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here. Coming up later today, Rob, it's back. Turn this music off. I don't want to hear this anymore. It's back. We got Rockets, Thunder. Kevin Durant watches his old team hang a banner. And we got Warriors and Lakers. LeBron, he's out. But Luka, he's there. Steph, he's there on NBC. All right, Rob, that's enough. I just had to tell people what's going on today on NBC. Very excited about it. Do you plan on watching NBA on NBC tonight?
I'll probably have it on in the background. You know, it's not like I'm locked in. I'll probably keep it on the background, though.
Let's talk about this. I don't pay for Pro Football Focus. We have never paid a guest from Pro Football Focus. We like them. I like Sam Munson. I remember when I first met Sam Munson, Nick was still here. So I've known Sam Munson for a very, very long time. I consider Sam Munson to be a personal friend. But I've always had this feeling about Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus, you can use any way that you want. If you feel a certain way about a player, you can usually find a stat or a number that can validate how you feel. That's how I feel about most of these advanced metrics. A lot of times when I'm on social media, and a lot of people I would consider to be smart NFL fans, we just start looking at charts. And these charts just have dots on them. And you start using all of these words and terms that I don't really understand and don't really make a lot of sense to me, but you took the time to make a fancy chart, which confirms another thought that I have, and I see this on social media all the time. If you're willing to make a graphic about something, you can get people to believe anything that you want. Half of the misinformation I see on the internet, somebody just knows how to use Canva, and they have typed some nonsense on there, and they can get the public to share it and believe it. That's how a lot of these advanced NFL metrics are. So Pro Football Focus has moved to the top of the list. Now, I think this started a couple of weeks ago. I think it actually started on Sunday Night Football. So the Chiefs were on there a couple of weeks ago playing the Lions, and underneath the player's name, they put their Pro Football Focus ranking. They had Mahomes at 13th. A lot of people were mad that Patrick Mahomes was at 13th. So they were already getting a little bit of smoke. Well, this past week, I guess I'll just let Nick tell you what happened.
Pro Football Focus's quarterback rating system said on Sunday, Geno Smith played a better game than Patrick Mahomes.
Needs to be tweaked.
They published that. They put that out to the world. They said from a passing perspective, on Sunday, Geno was the 12th best quarterback in the league with a 67 grade. And Patrick Mahomes was the 16th best on Sunday with a 62 grade. It is that single fact means the way you're doing it is broken. There is no way to massage it or work around to where if in a game, in that game, you spit out the answer that actually when you really look with a discerning eye, Geno threw the ball better than Patrick, it means your system's broken.
Sometimes we are all allowed to feel the exact same way. I'm not taking Nick's take because Nick's take is the only take that you could possibly have. You cannot tell me Geno Smith, who completed 62% of his passes, threw for 67 yards, had 0 touchdowns and a 71 quarterback rating, you can't tell me that he played better than Patrick Mahomes, who completed 74% of his passes, threw for 286 yards, had 3 touchdowns, and had a 126 quarterback rating. You cannot convince me otherwise. And that's what they're trying to do with Pro Football Focus. That's what I feel like happens with a lot of these advanced numbers. In baseball, we do the exact same thing. A guy is hitting like 145, but we'll find some stat to show you that he's actually hitting the ball pretty well. He's just unlucky right now. Well, it's an out. It reminds me of that one line in Major League 2. Remember that line where the player hits a home run? He's like, too high, too high. And he's like, what does that even mean? It's gone. I feel like that's what happens with these new analytics all the time. Maybe I'm just old school. I like numbers that I can touch. I like numbers that I can feel. I like numbers that I can understand. And a lot of these advanced metrics, no one really knows how they come up with what they come up with. It just sounds really good. It sounds new. It sounds serious. It looks really good on a chart. Does anybody know how Pro Football Focus comes up with their grades? But we all quote it. Oh, man, that guy, he's ranked number 1 on Pro Football Focus. No one knows how we come to these numbers. I know how you get completion percentage. It's easy. You have these many attempts. You complete this number of passes. I can add it up. I know how you get passing yards and touchdowns. Hell, I even understand how you come up with a quarterback rating. What's BABIP? What does that even mean? What's WAR? How do we figure out what WAR means? That's what I mean. You can come up with any stat that you want to tell any story that you want. But if your algorithm comes up with the conclusion that Geno played better on Sunday than Patrick Mahomes in really any capacity, then you got to start over. You got to have an emergency work meeting. You got to bring everybody that works at Pro Football Focus into one room. You got to put them in there. I don't care if you got to get food, whatever you got to do. And you guys got to say, we are not leaving this room until we figure out a better way to evaluate the quarterback position. Because there's some things I trust Pro Football Focus in. I really do. Offensive line, defensive line, pass rush, pass block, pass protections. There are a lot of things that they do really well. But they obviously don't evaluate quarterback well if that's the determination that they have from Sunday's game.
Let me ask you this. Because in that, I think you're right about Pro Football Focus, but even in your little spiel there, you said you trust them on offensive line grades, but not the Patrick Mahomes grades.
I think they do some things well, for sure.
I think that is extrapolated out by a lot of people, because I think we very often move the goalposts on Pro Football Focus. Because when they say things like Mahomes is the 13th best quarterback in the league this year and Geno had a better passer grade, everyone goes up in arms. How can they do this? This is despicable, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward a week. Let's just say they have Jalen Moore as the best left tackle in the NFL since becoming the starter. The same people who are up in arms about the Patrick Mahomes rating and the Patrick Mahomes rankings are going to be the same people that turn around and tell me, well, Jalen Moore is the best left tackle in football per Pro Football Focus. I think we have a little bit of a moving target on how we use Pro Football Focus. Either A, as a football watching society, we should ignore it, and that's fine. I would disagree with that, but we can. Or B, we should take it for what it's worth. And if you're going to tell me, not you, but in general, someone says Jalen Moore's the best left tackle, go to his PFF numbers, you have to accept that the PFF numbers also say Patrick Mahomes is right in the middle of the pack. I feel like we pick and choose which stats we use from PFF.
I don't disagree with you. And I think here, someone says, screw the metrics. We got to use the eye test and wins and losses. That matters most. I do think in some of these, you just got to use your instincts. All of us watch sports. All of us follow it. All of us have played sports in some capacity. That I'm not saying that makes you an expert when it comes to things, but I use this analogy all the time. I remember I went to a wine tasting, and I remember the guy told me, he said, everybody is a wine connoisseur. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, you know what tastes good, right? Well, if you like it, then it's good wine. That's all that really matters. We all watch basketball. We know who can play and who can't. We all watch football. We know what quarterbacks are good and which quarterbacks are not good, right? We know this. So I just feel like in some of these things, you just got to trust your own instincts and how you feel. And part of it is we're going to disagree. You like this player. I don't like this player. But if you're going to tell me that this is analytic, data-based, and this is the prohibitive, this is how we grade football players in the National Football League. Your grading system cannot have Geno ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Now he threw for 67 yards. Not when his offense had 95 yards from scrimmage. You can't tell me that you can't be the best at it if that's what you do. So you got to start over. You got to start over. Maybe that's unfair when it comes to Pro Football Focus, and there's a lot of great people over there. But your system, it cannot work if that is the conclusion that you come to at the end of it. Coming up on the other side, the NBA is back. We'll get to it. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Hey Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with zero down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, just zero down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right, with a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Boostin' Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip. Online at boostinbarbecue.com.
The fastest streetcars, burnouts, car show, barbecue competition, and Chris Jansen live Saturday night. I can fix Boost and Barbecue this Friday and Saturday at Flying H Drag Strip, Odessa. Kids 12 and under free. Tickets at boostandbarbecue.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Conley Plumbing Solutions. Kansas side of things, that's a crash. K10 eastbound, the on-ramp from Renner Road, be prepared to stop, and still closed 49 north and southbound down South Cass County at North Cass Parkway. Conley Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. They've been in business since 2012, offering residential service and project work like commercial and router service. Visit ConleyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
All right, welcome back into the show. The NBA is back today. We got a doubleheader on NBC. And the NBA season will get going. Earlier today, Rob pulled some of the best theme songs that we have in sports. Why don't we celebrate a couple of them? College basketball season right around the corner. Rob, you were telling me KU, they have a basketball game on Friday?
They have an exhibition against Missouri. Has an exhibition Friday too, by the way. Missouri's exhibition can be heard right here on 96.5 The Fans. They take on K-State on Friday night.
K-State, they got a preseason All-American, that PJ Haggerty kid from Memphis.
Yeah. Never blown up in their face to get a very expensive portal player.
Here you go. You never miss a shot to throw a little bit of shade towards the Wildcats' way. I don't never make fun of K-State. You make fun of K-State pretty regularly. You might make fun of K-State more than I make fun of KU.
No chance that's correct. No chance.
At least once a show, you throw shade at K-State's way.
You keep throwing softballs, and I keep hitting them out of the park. Come on.
Which,
now.
I mean, I get right now at this point, you guys got a little bit of a rivalry game coming up later. I mean, somebody asked me, who do I want to win? I really don't know who I want to win on Saturday because there's two forces here at play. You guys have spent so much money on this new stadium, and this new stadium makes you guys so happy. I think you guys are a better football team this year than K-State. You've certainly been more consistent this year. So, one side wants you guys to win, celebrating your new stadium, and for you to be happy. But if they lose this game, the level of disappointment that you will feel walking out of that stadium that K-State beat you again, oh my goodness. Just to see your face, to see the meltdown on social media, it really will warm my heart. I'm genuinely confused. I don't know which way that I want to go. I don't know who I'm rooting for. Am I rooting for you and your happiness and KU? Because you guys deserve some happiness too when you're with your football program, not the basketball program. You got enough happiness for a lifetime when it comes to the basketball program.
I was going to say, come on now, there's plenty to go around.
No, you got enough happiness for a lifetime in basketball. You actually need to be humbled more and more when it comes to basketball. But yeah, one side of me wants you guys to finally beat them, you know? K-State, they walk around with their chest all out because they've been kicking y'all around for 15, 16 years. One part of me wants you guys to finally beat them. The other side is just thinking about how good it's going to be if you guys lose. Walking out of the stadium with that loss, Rob, you've had season tickets for 7-8 years. You've never seen KU beat K-State.
Not a once.
Not one time.
I mean, I've seen it like as a kid, but I was not a season ticket holder when it happened.
As a kid. That was a long time ago. It was 2008 the last time they beat them.
We hadn't had the election in 08. I'm not even. That's not even hyperbole. That is correct.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know who I'm rooting
I didn't take any shot at the K-State football program. I got nothing to say about them this week. We're just minding our business. Basketball program, media days tomorrow. I might take a few shots.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure you guys will. Let's just keep playing theme music before we gotta go. This might honestly be the best theme music because it's really the whole packaging of things. It's, well, the old one, like the new Monday Night Football, it don't really hit the same the way that it used to.
No offense to SVP, but it
yeah,
doesn't.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's the all my rowdy friends are here on Monday night. It's that iconic theme song leading into this music that is just iconic. Now, them doing that song with Chris Stapleton and Snoop Dogg, it ain't the same. I don't know what to tell you. It ain't the same.
When did the ESPN Snoop Dogg thing happen?
I don't know. We don't got to cancel everybody, man.
I'm not trying to cancel Snoop Dogg.
No, I'm just saying, who was the guy before? What did he do? Why did we cancel him?
I forget why we canceled him. I'm like,
why did we cancel him? Text line, you guys know. Why did we cancel Hank?
Snoop Dogg's a little overexposed. He doesn't even do an every network sports
Hold on, let's
adjacent.
Google. Why did we cancel Hank Williams? Is Hank still with us?
I thought Hank may have been a racist. That sound right?
No comment.
You're Googling it.
I know. I was gonna make a joke, and then I'm learning to be better in these situations. Just no thanks. I don't know why we canceled him. I don't really have a good answer for why we canceled Hank Williams Jr. I don't know. Maybe the text line can tell me. Someone said, how whack is the Thursday Night Football one? There's a Thursday Night Football one? I've never heard it before. There's an intro for Thursday Night Football? What does it sound like? Who made it? I've never heard this before. I don't think I've ever watched the kickoff of Thursday Night Football. Honestly, I don't think I've ever watched it. I'm trying to figure out what happened to him. Oh, hold on. I'm starting to see it. Hold on. I'm starting to maybe understand why they were like, hey, this can't work. This can't work. I'm starting to do some reading a little bit more on why they decided to go opposite directions when it came to him. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car